Wait, so have any of you ever been to a really terrible bar?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I lived
absolutely.
right above one for the first half of this year.
That is true.
Hey, Brian, when you walked into that bar, would it make this sound?
Buddy, I wish, because there's no subwoofer in that sound.
Do you think Jon Taffer could have fixed that terrible bar below you, Brian?
No, I don't think he needs to. I think that place is going to be open for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
It is the worst food I've ever had in my life. I don't think I've, like New York doesn't do Mexican food very well. And this decided to be this had been a Mexican restaurant before that was actually really good. You guys ate there.
Right.
Yeah, it was
and
great.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to give these assholes a shot, right? There was just no flavor. Like, I thought I had COVID when I ate it. I was just like, I'm just eating a bunch of slop.
Hey, Brian, when you put that food in your mouth, did it make this sound?
So many possible worlds, but we got this one. So many possible worlds, but we got this one.
Welcome to the Worst of All Possible Worlds, the first and only podcast where whenever you listen, you hear this sound. I'm the worst of all possible Joshes.
I'm the worst of all possible AJs.
And I'm the worst of all possible Brians.
And we are so excited today because we have a fantastic guest here with us. She streams 4 days a week at twitch.tv/Slowpuke. She's also a certified trash TV enthusiast. Welcome to the show, Caitlyn.
Thank you.
Hooray!
So happy to be here. Yay.
We are happy to have you here because I got to know you a little bit doing streaming stuff because I, of course, also stream over at twitch.tv/traditional_scrunch.
Do you know what sound a traditional _scrunch makes?
No, Brian.
What's the sound?
What sound?
That's the sound the underscore makes when you forget to say it.
That's
And
so
then you
true.
click the link and it would not be directed to your channel. That's what I'm saying to you.
It's a sound that happens right before you're hit with a scrunch.
But we did a joint stream where you came on and we ranked the songs of the summer. Some really awful music that we found on Instagram.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like just independent.
Yeah.
Very earnest, but just bad music posted by people on Instagram. And all of them have still never left my brain.
We're outside again.
Yeah.
Sun's out, sun's out.
We gonna party like every day.
We'll get to hear another song of the summer this episode.
Oh, we sure
We've got
will.
a great song.
All right.
Caitlyn, thank you so much for bringing this nightmare of
Yes.
a show into my
Yes.
life.
You're so
I had
welcome.
never
I'm
seen an
honored.
episode before.
Oh, it's a treat.
It is truly wonderful to finally have an answer to the question, what if Richard Kind was evil?
Yeah.
And Caitlyn, you are a trash TV enthusiast. You watch
I'd say
bad
so.
TV on your stream
Yeah.
like all the time.
All the time. It's a lot of TLC, just garbage. It's a lot of 90 Day Fiance. Alec Baldwin's self-produced reality TV show was a huge hit.
Oh, yeah. Is that still going?
No, it ran for one season, 8 episodes, and I doubt it's going to get picked up again.
Damn.
The whole
Is his
thing was-
wife more or less Spanish than she was before she got found out? Like, how much accent is she doing?
Good question.
She's still heavy on the accent. Like when she speaks
yes.
English, she's still very heavy on the accent. They make a point. I was rewatching some today for a little project, and there's a part where Alex says she's talking really fast, and he says, "Okay, so you're speaking English in a Spanish way, and you need to slow down." And then it goes into, so Hilaria is actually no Spanish because her grandpa. But now she at least says she's from Boston, and she like never used to do that before. So props to her.
Oh my God.
That
Yeah.
rules.
Is the Baldwins also voiced by the same narrator who does Bar Rescue, who sounds like evil Zach Braff?
I love the narrator from Bar Rescue because he sounds like he's never done this job before ever.
No, he
It's
was
like they
really
just
lucky.
pulled a guy. It's so good.
What for you is it about Bar Rescue that makes it such an incredible exemplar of the genre of bad TV?
I mean, Bar Rescue to start very obviously is trying to piggyback off of Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah.
It is so to a T. Just Jon Taffer saw Kitchen Nightmares and said, "I want to do that. I'd be good at that."
Yeah, and he stole the sound effect.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
I mean,
one.
every reality show uses the same 5 sound
Ghost
effects.
Adventures uses it
Yeah.
like so
Oh,
much
shit.
too.
Yeah, it's so weird when they sit on a leather couch in Ghost Adventures and it goes, You'll understand that later, listeners.
Every time Zach Bagans has to take his shirt off because they've told him that the ghost hates men, and so to make it horny to bring it out and do something, it goes. Duh. It's so much of just Jon Taffer has seen something that he says, I would be good at that. I need to do that. And this whole thing is not about what he's doing at all. It's about Jon Taffer showing everybody that he is the man. He doesn't even really, there's nothing about this show that even demonstrates an ounce of skill that Jon Taffer has in this department.
No.
Nothing about it. He brings in experts, and he doesn't even do like the menus and stuff like Gordon Ramsay does. Like he at least cooks on it, right? He's like, I will cook it for you. And you see what Gordon Ramsay is good at. Jon Taffer's thing, I guess, is that he's good at branding, and every brand is bad.
They talk about his skills in like the opening. It's a little bit different in like the more recent seasons, but like they do this whole thing about like bars are a science. It's all about where your eyes go, and it's like menu design, and it's like, oh yeah, this is what he probably was doing to work at like some big nightclub that was optimizing their sales and everything like that.
Yeah.
But like the whole point of this show is to look at the worst shit you've ever seen, let him scream for a while, and then say, yeah, no, he fixed it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, and we might as well talk a little bit about Jon Taffer and sort of what his whole deal is, because I just wanted to put a disclaimer up front here. This guy is very Trumpian in that he self-mythologizes constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So everything that I've pulled together here is based on his statements. This is probably an unreliable accounting, but I wanted to have something. So basically, Jon Taffer was born and raised in Great Neck, New York. That's out on Long Island.
It's got a great neck.
That's so true.
He does. Thick. It's so thick, and I love how it blends into his head and makes him look like a puppet.
Lives up to the name of his hometown. After graduating from high school, he went to the University of Denver, where he studied political science. As best as I can tell, he did not graduate. Instead, he moved to Los Angeles and got into the hospitality industry.
I cannot imagine the culture shock of this Long Islander going to fucking Denver, Colorado.
He goes to just like the most bumfuck places with one bar that's failing. Like I no wonder he like cannot gauge the vibe in anywhere he goes to at all. I do really love that he didn't graduate from political science.
Mm-hmm.
I do. That's such a good added detail that kind of explains his whole thing, that he just wants to. This is his way to be a politician for bars.
By the time he got to the mid-1980s, he was working for a hotel company, I guess. This is just from an interview with him. The way that he puts it, the tax code changed so that hotels could no longer write off the losses that they were incurring in food and beverage. And so they had to actually start designing profitable hotel bars and restaurants. And so he started up a consultancy, which basically aided hotels, which needed to figure out how to become profitable, because he at that time had been managing a few hotels. He'd had to turn their restaurants around and make them better. So he's like, oh, I could do this for other hotels as well. The biggest feather he has in his cap regarding that consultancy is that he did work for a company that was interested in putting together a TV package for out-of-market football games. That ended up becoming NFL Sunday Ticket, which is now an insanely lucrative thing for the NFL.
That's very different from the other work that he's doing, it feels.
Yeah, you'll notice has a lot to do with bar rescue.
Well, the whole point of Sunday Ticket originally was for bar owners who wanted to show out-of-market games to their customers at the bar.
So it's just all on just an easy way for bars to have everything
all
to
the
put
games
on every TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
The other big thing that's worth noting about Taffer is that he started up a nightclub called Pulsations, or he was involved in a nightclub called Pulsations. Can you tell me about this, Caitlyn?
Absolutely. I love Pulsations nightclub. He touts it as being one of his kind of greatest achievements in hospitality, but I don't really know, nor can I find out his exact role in the opening of it. He says he like opened it, but then people who are from the area in Philadelphia, this was in Glen Mills, it was open for 13 years, but people from the area say that like he was actually just a bar manager, he was an employee, but he was there from the start. The way he talks about it, he says that like he put money into it and like built it, but I do not think that is at all true. But it was a huge bar. It had 11 bars and 10 levels to it, and it would hold 2,000 people on weekends. It had these under 21 nights that were really popular, and there's a picture of the bar that I have linked, the inside of the bar.
Oh,
and
man.
I want you to describe what this looks like as best as you can.
Oh, God. Oh, no. This is horrible for me specifically because
Wow.
this looks like the interior of the cruise ship show I
It
did.
does look like a cruise ship, yeah.
It also looks like if Andrew Lloyd Webber like staged his dream version of Starlight Express.
Yeah. If the immersive phantom takes off, it's going to be this next.
Oh, God, there's a mushroom. Look at the mushroom.
There's
Yes.
a mushroom. It's mixed with like a Patrick Nagel painting that is that has thrown up. Like if you if someone who was on a lot of cocaine tried to paint one themselves and you gave them every color in the rainbow, this is what they would do.
I notice some touches of, I don't know, like Fritz Lang Metropolis type shit
Yeah,
here
it's
too.
expressionistic.
It's that Art Deco resurgence
Yeah,
in the 80s.
yeah.
It's very Vegas too. It feels like it should be in like it's like your taste of Vegas in the Philly suburbs.
There's a reverse carousel that's happening. There's no horses attached. It's just like the top of a carousel.
I actually do know what that reverse carousel is. If you're
what
referring
is
to the
it?
one in the middle attached to the
Yeah.
ceiling. So
Yeah.
that is a UFO that cost $16 million to build.
Okay.
No,
And
it didn't. What?
John Taffer says 16 million in the 80s. I don't want to imagine how much that would be in today's money.
Okay, and I'm seeing that this UFO is actually on a big track, so it
Yes.
can move out over the dining floor.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess it probably spins too. Oh, Jesus.
It would spin around, and at some point in the night, it would lower into the center of the dance floor. They turn all the lights down, turn the music down, and they would play like some big chorus, and it would lower down into the middle of the dance floor, and a hatch would open underneath the UFO, and
Oh,
out of
hell
the
yes.
hatch would emerge a robot named Pulsar.
Yes.
And this robot would go into the center of the dance floor and be remote controlled and wheel around and flirt with the guests. And at one point in a video I found, he says, "Sorry for the blackout I caused on Wednesday. I was having so much awesome sex that I just couldn't handle it." And everyone would go fucking nuts for this robot.
Yeah.
We love the horny
except
robot!
then the
Pulsar.
that robot rolled up to Jon Taffer's wife and it was completely fucking annihilated. That
true.
UFO
And
what
was
did that
out of
sound
the
like?
building.
What did that sound like, Brian?
You so fucking nailed it with the Starlight Express reference, though.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now I understand why it was $16 million. Now that I understand that it moves and has robots in it.
The opening of this bar was a nightmare, though.
Okay.
The first day it opened, due to all this crazy tech shit, like all the stuff hoisted up, a light fixture actually fell from the ceiling and killed a 37-year-old woman on the
Oh,
dance
no.
floor and
Christ.
injured like
Jesus.
7 other people.
There's murder on the dance floor.
Yeah, and you better not kill the groove.
Did Pulsar wheel out and be like
And went,
sing a
"Oh,
lamentation?
Oh, she died. Shit.
Oops.
I had sex to awesome and she died.
But he goes, "This is bad. This is bad."
bad. This is
No,
You think it's bad that the lady died? That lighting unit was my sister. Because I'm a robot and I'm related to the lights there.
And then a 37-year-old woman crawls out of Pulsar and it's just like, how deep does this rabbit hole go?
It's also the same. It's the Happy Birthday Polly robot in Rocky 4. That's actually
It's
the
the
same
same
robot.
No.
It's the same robot.
No.
It's the same.
Of course it is. It's a Philadelphia icon. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. It's the same model. I don't think it's the same robot, but it's a model of that robot because they built
I don't
like
think
4
this
of them.
city should be allowed to stand any longer. Every time I hear something about Philadelphia, it's so fucked up.
So, Caitlyn, you sent me a clip of Jon Taffer talking about his experience at Pulsations, working there and just soaking it in.
When that robot came out of that spaceship and landed on that dance floor, and 4,000 people on all these levels watching it. I looked to my left, and this was a powerful moment of special effects and subharmonic sound, and your shirt is flapping from the bass, and the spaceship barrels down and stops 12 feet over the dance floor. These doors open, the fog billows out, and this alien robot comes out of the spaceship, walks out on the dance floor and says, "Wow, check this place out." And as this was all happening, I looked to my left, and my robot operator, who controlled him in his pocket, had tears going down his face. And then I looked at my other security guys, and I had about 8 or 10 of them around there because we were all guarding the spaceship, had tears coming down their faces. And then I noticed some customers had tears coming down their faces. And then finally I realized I was crying too. And that moment was as close to a religious experience as I've ever come in my life.
They were mourning the dead woman who just died.
This was like maybe the second day, and everybody just remembered that someone died the day before.
Well, I've got another clip here. This is Jon Taffer going on Fox News in August 2024 with fucking Brian Kilmeade.
Good guy, great guy.
Yeah, I love him.
He's not in the news.
No, certainly not.
No current talk about something he said that's insane and crazy.
But Kurt, here he is talking about how things were better under Trump than Biden.
Well, I think it was economic, Brian, but I think it was even greater than economic. I don't think we had the violence on the streets then. I think the whole psyche, if you will, was different then. We had a positive outlook for our economy. We had a positive outlook for our communities. I think that when we take a look at the impact of crime, of course, COVID was an instigator in some of this, but we take a look at the impact of crime, impact of lower financial income, the stresses of financial, the pressure of the campaigns that we're all watching now, trying to dissect the truth from the lies. All of this adds a lot of pressure to the consumer and candidly makes life less motivating.
Right. And Jon Taffer, another great season on Bar Rescue. I also think, too, when it comes to the restaurant business, when you're in it, like Trump, when he holds the casinos and knows what it's like, the hospitality business, when you have hotels, you understand what the real economy is, and you have understanding of what these people need. And the people that actually buy the hotels and restaurants don't hate them. They're the ones taking the risk and starting the jobs.
We do love a job
I
creator,
got totally
don't we,
lost on what Brian Kilmeade was even saying.
As
there at the
per
end.
usual.
The people who
Yeah,
buy the hotels don't
nothing.
hate the hotels.
You don't hate the people in the hotels because they're starting jobs?
And Trump made that?
Is he trying to say that, like, something that sets Taffer aside from other people is that he buys stuff he hates, and that's like a good thing? Is that what he meant by that?
I think
Like,
so.
you get the, like, also
He's
saying that, like, he buys the bars, which he doesn't. He's like, oh, you buy bars that you hate. When people buy hotels, they usually like the hotel.
Oh,
Is
I
that
see.
what he means?
Yeah.
I think what he's saying is that the typical consumer doesn't understand the emotional weight that goes into being an entrepreneur and a small business owner. And you need somebody like Trump to be president as opposed to somebody like Joe Biden because he understands the plight of the small business owner. I think that's the point Kilmeade is making there.
Yeah, and so Taffer now has this franchise going. This is like a new project of his, Taffer's Tavern.
Yes. The one in D.C. closed down
Very quickly.
10 months ago. Yeah.
Well, he walked into his own and said, I can't rescue this. It's gone.
I guess it remains to be seen how successful Taffer's Tavern is going to be in the long run. But that's a big risk to take, right? Because your whole thing is like, I know how business works. I am perfect at this. It will always work out just fine. I'm going to slap my name on a bunch of on like a national franchise, hopefully, of these bars.
And because it's a franchise too, you are promising to the people who then purchase franchises from you that the brand will be sufficient to carry the business, right?
And I'll be frank, they do not offer the same kind of deals that Golden Corral offers its franchisees.
Is that right?
Yeah. You could get so much food delivered to people at such a low cost when you're working with Golden Corral, which cares about its community. You could feed an entire Goku.
Really?
Full to bursting.
Wait, are we sponsored by Golden Corral? Did I miss a meeting?
Golden Corral. When you're here, you're corralled.
I mean, that's why I was being so polite when this bit was going. I thought this was a sponsor. I thought this was a huge sponsor.
It is a huge sponsor.
We're sponsored by two things: Golden Corral and Hims, of course. We're all proud users of Hims. It's reversed our baldness and our erectile dysfunction.
It's really worked wonders on my hair.
You keep taking the erectile dysfunction pills for the hair, AJ.
I know.
You're mixing them up.
Oh,
that's why your hair is so hard.
So your hair's got so much blood in it.
You know what sound it makes when my hair gets hard, though?
Oh, yeah. What does it make? What sound? Oh, okay.
That's the sound
right.
it makes.
So
you did this to yourself, Brian.
At the end of January 2011, Spike TV, formerly TNN, the Nashville network, announces that it will be picking up 10 episodes of a show called Bar Rescue. And this is what they say about the show in the press release.
In Spike TV's new series, Bar Rescue, Jon Taffer, one of the country's top restaurant and bar consultants, will give failing establishments one last chance to succeed. The show will delve into every business facet of running a bar, from creating a profitable drink/food menu, to crowd management, to music selection, to managing disgruntled employees. This marks the first food/beverage themed show for Spike TV, furthering its effort to expand and broaden its audience to people who like food and beverages.
Finally.
Yes.
Yeah. Taffer will use his quote-unquote in-your-face style, along with his renowned method of management called Taffer Dynamics, to transform the bar into a vibrant, profitable establishment.
Taffer Dynamics is what I call it when I'm Garrett from Thief and Thief 2.
I was waiting for it. I knew I couldn't be the one to introduce the bit.
He will utilize everything from state-of-the-art science, such as eye-tracking technology, monitoring of body temperature, and even reading pheromone output in patrons in order to create an ambitious plan of action. I'm sorry, what? Okay, now I have to take myself out of it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that didn't make its way into the
When
show.
does that ever
Because
happen?
whenever he goes to a bar in the show, he just goes into the kitchen and sees 50 rats. You don't really need to take the temperature of the customers to see what's going on here.
Yeah, there's more
and
than
is he
the
like
ice machine.
sniffing the air? Is he like tasting the air for these pheromones? Or does he bring Pulsar along who has some pheromone readers on him?
It ends with Taffer will focus on one establishment per episode from cities all around the country. Taffer's wife, Nicole, will appear on the show along with a rotating group of experts.
And in the early episodes, Nicole is a much bigger presence. And I was kind of surprised about that. Like, it's almost like a couples thing early on, where Nicole is almost as involved with rescuing the bar as Taffer himself.
I'll be honest, it makes the whole thing less creepy.
Yeah.
Because the way they start all the episodes in the car, like they're going to like rob the place or they're like casing the joint beforehand.
Much like one would do in Thief and or Thief 2, you mean, AJ?
That's so true,
Yes.
Brian.
That is very true. A regular Taffer.
But yeah, the show's a hit, right? It does manage to, I guess, tap into the subset of men who also like food, which is a rare demographic.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you got to think about like what's on Spike TV at this point in time. I'm assuming Mansers is still going in early 2010s. You've got Deadliest Warrior, 1,000 Ways to Die.
Another show that it premiered alongside was a show called Repo Games. These are guys who are about to have their actual cars actually repossessed.
Yes.
But it's a trivia show where if they answer 5 questions correctly, their car doesn't get repoed.
You get 5 questions. You have to answer 3 of them correctly, or you can go fuck yourself. This is, again, Spike taking an idea that's already been brewing for a while. Like, there have already been a lot of either TV specials about people doing repos or actual repossession series, and combining it with the Cash Cab, basically. Right. The worst game show on earth, and they found a way to make it even worse. And somehow, probably just because of how cheap it was to make, it lasted 2 full seasons.
Bar Rescue initially lasted for 2 full seasons of 10 episodes apiece. But when it was clear that this was a format that you could produce pretty efficiently, right? They're spending, I think, 4 or 5 days.
5 days. So it's like a week,
site.
a work week per episode. Obviously, like, the heavy lifting is being done before Taffer gets to the town.
So it's a lot of pre-work, but actually doing the show, generally speaking, you spend those 5 days and you can get something workable.
Yeah.
Seasons 3 to 6 have anywhere between 31 to 58 episodes apiece.
And this isn't like, so, this isn't like a usual kind of years, a calendar year of making one season. Some of these seasons stretch over the course of like 3 years. This is just some of the weirdness of how reality TV gets done, and specifically cable reality TV.
And in 2020, they do a socially distanced season that focuses on restaurants impacted by the pandemic.
It's amazing that they kept it distanced, right? Like that's sort of the strange thing with all the COVID denialism or whatever, is that Jon Taffer still abides by like, I need to get like,
at that point they had to.
He was still like, I don't want to get sick.
Yeah. That's the thing is like COVID denial didn't start at the beginning.
Right.
There were some people here and there, but it was not a flat like, okay, if you're Republican, you just think it's not real. It had to build up over time. The messaging had to be created.
Yeah. And there's also got to be a bit of an air of, I honestly am not too familiar with the COVID episodes, but there has to be more of an air of politeness about it, right? Yeah. This has to be the chance that they paint Taffer in like an empathetic light and show that like he is actually a good guy who wants to help these people, because it's been factors out of their control that are now putting them in this situation.
Right, but they can't because he's not empathetic in any way whatsoever.
This is still his show, and it's about him to make him look good at the end of the day.
And on that matter of COVID, in 2021, Taffer went on Laura Ingraham and was like, yeah, nobody wants to work anymore. Employees are lazy. He said that, you only feed a military dog at night because you want it to be hungry, and people just aren't being made hungry enough to want to work in hospitality again. And so then people were like, okay, bitch, let's look up your PPP loans, and found that he took out 2 and got $60,000 from the government in 2020.
Of course. Worth noting, the show is still running. The most recent season, season 9, ran through this past June. Taffer doesn't even lead the rescue in a lot of these episodes. He's very checked out at this point from the day-to-day of the show.
He's got to run Taffer's Tavern. He's a serious restaurateur.
It's about to get 2 more locations in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank God.
Because I have a friend who's from Maryland, and they actually said also, they know people who have been to Taffer's Tavern and said it was really bad. Like, for the record, I forgot to say that earlier. Apparently it's really not good, and the drinks are just crazy sugary, and the food's not good either.
How are the robots?
And put a pin in like the title of Taffer's Tavern, by the way.
I've got a quote here that I think sums up Taffer's whole deal. And this is from his book, Don't Bullshit Yourself, which is a self-help book about how you need to get out of your own way. Do either of you, Brian, AJ, have a decent Jon Taffer?
I can do it. Do you want it in the voice, or do you want me to just read it straight?
Do you want to try to do it in the voice?
On Bar Rescue, when I deal with an excuse maker, the first thing I do is feel out his emotional buttons and points of pride. If I choose to attack his pride, this place is a mess. It sucks. Often he will stand up like a gorilla, pounding his chest and say, I'm better than this. Does that motivate him to change? I always hope it will, but unfortunately in many situations, it doesn't. So I switch to fear. What happens when your business closes? What happens when you go broke? What happens when you're bankrupt? I try to scare the shit out of him. Sometimes, if he has kids, I'll even mention them. Is this the way you want your children to live? Are you going to have the money to buy them food, let alone send them to college? I hope that triggers him to think, wow, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to change things. One way or another, I have to get him in that state of mind. My third tactic, and the one I unfortunately use the most, is confrontation. Unfortunately, fuck you, you love it. When there's no choice, I go to him like a classic drill sergeant and break him down. I beat on him until the moment comes when he doubts himself. And in that second, his mind will open up and he'll say, wow, you might be right. I might be wrong. In that fleeting moment, with his brain open a crack, I can walk right in. Then he is ready to take a hard look at the deception of his excuses and the fact that the only person he's fooling is himself. Most of the time, my clients have a light bulb moment at this point. Now, only after this revelation we can get to work dismantling the lies within their excuses and then work on dismantling the excuses and the behavior. The minute they take responsibility, everything changes. I'm going into Trump. Once they're in the humble position, they really can see all the absurdity of the stories they tell.
I am going to need more of your Jon Taffer in the same way that I needed more of Brian's Anthony Bourdain. That was wonderful, AJ. Thank you for that.
I'll walk right out.
He's loud and he is tall, which is
and he's
why
big
it's also,
too.
He's big, which is why it's also so funny that he's like, these are actually my tactics that I have. And it's like, no, you're just yelling at people and making them sad.
What he's not acknowledging here too is that like he's doing it because it's the fucking show. It's what he has to do. He has to come in and start yelling. I've seen some shows where like the problems just aren't yellable offenses and he still just comes in like hooting and screaming and swinging from tree to tree. And it's like, yeah, you could have just talked to him about this one.
In a way, like when you watch Kitchen Nightmares, what's so telling about like Gordon Ramsay and his whole persona, right? Because he's the bad boy. Like he's like the angry, he's going to be the Brit that comes in and yells at you, but he always cares about the people. He's yelling because he cares about the health of the restaurant and the safety of the people who come in there and all that stuff. I don't think Jon Taffer cares about any of these people at any point.
And also, like, Gordon knows when to tone it down because there's people who just do not respond to authority.
Yes.
There are people who have such an aversion to authority that when they are being yelled at, that is when in their brain they check out and say, I'm done listening to you now. And Gordon Ramsay can suss that out and he knows when to turn on like the empathy and he knows when to like actually sit down and talk to somebody. And there's moments of that in the show. You do not get a single one of that in Jon Taffer.
The infamous Amy's Baking Company episode of Kitchen Nightmares, he doesn't yell in that episode at all because he's going in there and he's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening?
I don't know what's going on.
This is a mess. I can't help you. I just can't. And he just leaves.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do. And it's also that like you can tell because Gordon Ramsay, when he's interacting with kids, especially, he always meets them on their level and is always like, he's always very helpful with them. There was that one, I think the girl like was trying to make him a ring or something and it wasn't working. And he was just like, here, I'll walk you through it. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We'll get through this together. And I shudder to think about what Bar Rescue Jr. would look like.
But it needs to happen.
It needs to happen.
But that's so
Why are these kids running these bars?
There's mold in your sippy cup.
The way to do it is because he did Marriage Rescue, right? We do like a reboot of Nanny 911, but Taffer's the nanny.
Yes.
You're not giving him his turn on the swings. He's waiting there. And you call yourself the big kid of the playground.
You need a timeout corner. You need one of the bottom steps of the staircase. Do you have a timeout corner? No, because your parents aren't doing the fucking job.
You're running through the sandbox. You're kicking sand in people's faces. You got to slow the fuck down.
Does that make you feel good about yourself? He like sits up in the car in the beginning. He's watching like surveillance footage of the playground or like inside the house on one of those like Amazon Fire tablets they have with the really big bulky cases.
Guy taps on the window. Sir, you can't be surveilling a playground.
Get out of here.
So the flow of every episode of Bar Rescue is roughly the same. We get this pre-roll with a short history of the bar and why it's failing. And then Jon Taffer shows up in a car. That's right, Brian. And he does a stakeout of the bar. He watches footage of proxies that he sends in via hidden cameras in the bar.
Yeah, they're always like, ooh, we have these hidden cameras, and there's like 5 fucking like full handheld or shoulder-mounted operations happening. They make a point of like a spy getting made in one of the episodes, but like everybody knows that they're serving the spy because it's the only person in the bar.
Exactly. At that point, then Taffer usually enters the bar and confronts the owner about what they're doing wrong. Then he evaluates the abilities of the staff. And at that point, then, he starts to come together with a plan for the bar. You get a mixologist and a chef, if there's a kitchen. They come in, they revamp the food and drink menus. It's always cocktails.
It's always cocktails.
It's always cocktails. This usually happens in tandem with Taffer having like a heart-to-heart or motivational pep talk with the owner.
Yeah.
And then after that, they do a stress test. And they see what happens when a bunch of people show up at the same time. In later seasons, this becomes a full-on spectacle where people show up to watch Jon Taffer berate the people behind the bar.
Right, because it's like that's the guy from TV. They put out the flyers all around town. They're like, Jon Taffer's going to be doing a bar rescue to this bar. Why don't you come over to the bar for the stress test that you all know from television?
Then the bar gets an interior renovation. Usually this is in tandem with a rebrand and or a new concept. Taffer sometimes will, gift the bar various sponsored products in a very overt and obvious way, which is very funny. The product
that
placement
increases basically starting season 2. Season 1, they don't get so much.
And then once you get to like the later seasons, it's like 5 things per
it's so many
bar.
fucking things.
Like things they don't need that they will never use.
It's like the worst dive you've ever seen where like the beer is 2 cents and then they're like, here's this automated bartender with a touch screen that's going to need to be maintained. And they're like, no, we're not fucking touching that.
Here's a UV light that you mount to the bar that your employees are supposed to put their hands under, and then the light tells them if their hands are still dirty.
Here is this 80s robot that has the skeleton of a 37-year-old woman inside of it.
Like Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the bite of 87.
And then, of course, after all this has happened, the bar reopens and it's saved forever. It's a great...
And then we get the follow-up text in the credits. We see they check in sometime just before the episode airs and they see if the bar is still open or not.
So the first example that we're going to be taking a look at here is season 2, episode 1, Yo Ho Ho and a Bottle of Dumb. Got him. This is Pirates Tavern in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Piratz.
This originally aired July 29 of 2012. And every episode of Bar Rescue opens with that narrator who we talked about earlier, the guy who sounds like this is his very first VO job ever.
And it is.
And he lets us know what the history of the subject bar is.
In 2007, after a long career in corporate communications, Tracy Rebello hosted a successful pirate-themed Halloween party. She wanted to bring this theme to her everyday life, so she launched Pirates Tavern.
Being a pirate is the ultimate Peter Pan syndrome, to live like a child, yet be an adult.
From the beginning, Pirates only attracted a tiny customer base of Renaissance fair reenactors and career pirate performers who live most of their lives in character.
They call me One-Eyed Mike because, well, there really only is one eye in Mike.
He lifts up his eye patch.
I've met in 200 years that actually lost his left eye to a sword duel.
Tracy's inexperience first surfaced when she hired her husband, Giussiano, to run the kitchen with no cooking background.
Hey, there's the noise!
Her next fatal flaw was staffing the bar with the customers.
We're real pirates. We don't really have a captain, and we just drink and we party all the time.
Don't tell me I do my job. I do my job.
The pirates continued to act like customers, while actual customers made their way out the door.
We thought it would be fun to come down here, but this was one of the worst experiences ever.
For 5 years, Tracy turned a blind eye to her bookie, and now Pirates is just a few months from being shut down permanently.
I'm $900,000 in debt.
What?
I lost my house. My credit was shot.
How?
I lost everything. I need help.
Now, with Pirates Tavern in danger of sinking for good, Tracy has agreed to pull back the doors, bust open the books, and make a call for help to Bar Rescue.
So I guess we should talk about Renfair people for a moment.
Oh, man.
Yes, there's so much to unpack here. I just want to say, I would argue that a pirate fantasy is actually the opposite of a Peter Pan fantasy.
Yes, if you've read or seen Peter Pan
fights.
Yeah.
They're very against Peter Pan.
Well, this is a woman who just doesn't understand her own premise, clearly.
No, that's the thing is like, this is a woman who was working as a creative director for a graphic design firm, and that's mostly what she had been doing before that point and what she does now, according to her LinkedIn. And she must have at some point gone to a Renaissance fair and become very enamored of it. And a lot of people, they go to a big fair, they go to a big event, and they think, how could I make this into a year-round thing?
Right.
I worked at a show that tried to do that with Burning Man. What if we did Burning Man all year round? AJ saw it. Not great.
Yep.
And this one was what a lot of people do with Renfair. I have worked with a lot of Renfair performers.
Yes,
I
know
understand.
them. They are very, very sweet people, and they are also a very specific type of person.
Very specific type of person. The people that I know are all actually quite talented, and there are only a few venues where you can make money year round doing that style of performance. Either you're on kind of the tour circuit going from fair to fair throughout the year, even going internationally, or you work at a Disney park.
Sure.
Or you can take the hit and do something that doesn't exactly run year round. Like my friends who run the Fantasy Tavern, that is a monthly thing.
Sure.
Right. They know that there is a limit to how much people can go to this because it's not in this case of Pirates Tavern, it's not a bar, it's an attraction.
Yeah.
And so the business there is a little bit different. This is one thing if you're in Manhattan and you have Jekyll and Hyde Bar.
Right.
Because
R.I.P.
you're going to have tourists all the time. It's Manhattan. Or Ice-T. He was a big fan.
Well, in D.C., to be fair, is a tourist town, but Silver Spring is
Silver
not.
Springs
Yes.
is like a concrete business park with a like shopping center. People are there for their 9 to 5s,
Right.
and then they go home and they watch TV.
And those people are Renfair enthusiasts, but when it's time to go to the Renfair, which
Right.
they do once a year.
Yeah.
I would argue there is a secret fourth option as well, Brian, which is medieval times.
I was going to
That's
say.
true, medieval times, yeah.
Because I was a waitress at Medieval Times
Really?
for a.
Oh, no way.
Yes, it was, I can say without a doubt, the worst and most unpleasant job I've ever had.
That's why a lot of medieval times locations are unionizing because the
Yes.
environment there is so fucking bad.
So bad.
Yeah.
I remember the second week I worked there, my locker got broken into, and
Oh my God.
all the cash out of my wallet was stolen.
Fuck.
It was really just like a bunch of these types of Renfair people who outside of work are so lovely, but in the environment of medieval times, which is also incredibly stressful, like having to turn over the entire arena before the next show is
Oh
so
my God,
incredibly
yeah.
quick and hard to do. And these people who are so sweet but are just not accustomed to having any authority or like being working under stress, just being so freaked out and trying to run the place. It was so bad.
How long were you there for, Caitlyn?
I was only there for a few months because COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
And
shit.
then I, obviously did the work there because it took forever to reopen.
Yeah.
But I do remember they gave us a Christmas gift, which was they sent out an email asking if anybody wanted some frozen chicken that was left over and some raw potatoes and frozen garlic bread.
Nice.
And I said, sign me up. And I was one of the six employees out of hundreds to get the chicken. I got like 5 whole chickens. I got like 10 half chickens.
You also mentioned, Caitlyn, the like people working under really high pressure environments who are not used to it.
Yeah.
And we sort of talked about this a little bit as well on the Anthony Bourdain episode, that like there's a specific type of person who can hack it in the restaurant industry, especially in a kitchen / behind a bar. And it takes, not only does it take a certain type of person, it takes a certain type of training and acclimatization, I guess, to get there, to get to a point where you can do it.
And none of these people have that.
No, these people are
In this particular
performers
bar.
first.
Yes.
These are not people who are equipped to work at a busy bar day in and day out, nor do they want to. That's not why this bar opened. This bar opened because this woman had a dream of running a themed attraction, not because she had a dream of making a lot of money with a bar.
And that's a problem, right?
It's a fundamental problem.
But I would argue, like fundamentally, if you are going to run a bar, you need to have a plan to make money.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily need to be to make shitloads of money, but it needs to be profitable.
Yeah.
It just has to be.
Otherwise, you wind up losing $1 million and living in your mother's basement with your husband and your child.
The one thing you don't do is to just disregard the entire market around you and insist on doing this thing that nobody wants or will take part in.
Yeah.
So we then get a scripted intro of Taffer himself. This intro is the same in every episode, but just wanted to play this out as well so you can hear what it sounds like.
Running a bar is not just a business, it's a science. From the height of the stools to where your eyes fall first on a menu. No one knows more about bar science than Jon Taffer.
I don't embrace excuses. I embrace solutions.
Over the last 36 years, Jon has transformed hundreds of failing bars worldwide.
I believe that you could do this.
Using his proven methods and no-nonsense approach,
Do something about it.
Jon will turn these money pits
Clean the place out.
into money makers.
I was like, oh my God, they're doing all of this because CSI is popular. Like, this show is so fucking cynical in that it's just like, oh, this worked in that other thing. We'll put it in this, and these idiots will gobble it right up. And here's the problem. I do gobble it all up.
It's great.
This is like This is genuinely such engaging television in a way that I was not anticipating going into it. Considering what a loathsome figure I find Jon Taffer, I
does the
cannot stop
Dr. Phil
watching this
thing.
show.
He's a scumbag, so he finds people who are even worse than him, so that he's always justified in being as mean as possible. Yeah.
And even the visuals of this intro, like just to describe to people who have maybe never seen the show, CSI intro is exactly what it is. It is literally like just intercut like pictures and videos of Jon Taffer with like, you know, hacker typography, like and like the lines going to everything, like when they're trying to figure out the Pepe Sylvia mystery and Always Sunny. Like it looks like that. It genuinely is CSI.
So we get the first piece of the formula here, which is the stakeout. Taffer goes in his car, he does a stakeout of the bar, and he lets us know why it's failing, which per the narrator is that they are not bringing in all of these commuters in Silver Spring, right? The 9-to-5ers are not coming to this bar after work because it's a fucking weird and
because
bad
it's a
bar.
pirate bar, and also there's a dining area in front. The bar is in the back, and all the staff is in the bar. So when you walk in, you have to go through half of the building before anyone even sees you.
Right. They don't have people posted out front. There's no person working out front as maitre d' or anything like that. Even just a host. Like there's nothing going on. Taffer sends his wife Nicole into the bar, and he also talks about his process.
Recon is critical to my process. It's easy for me to understand the financial issues of the business. I also have to learn what the customer perspective is. That perspective is extremely helpful to my final decisions.
Nicole heads into Pirate's Tavern, a 2,800 square foot linear space with an underutilized stretch of table seating in the front and a bar area in the back.
And we get
Outside
a 3D
is an
graphic
unoccupied
here
patio.
visualizing.
Yeah, it's a science, Josh. It's a science.
Yes.
Like the audio.
Yeah, it's also a horrible layout.
It's like he's sending Nicole into the fucking jungle. Like it's like she's got a ghillie suit on and he's sending her in there. And there's like a sniper dot that's like sometimes skimming over her and John's like looking with binoculars.
Ghost, can you hear me? You gotta go in.
She's doing ghillies in the mist.
I can't wait for the no Russian episode of Bar Rescue.
I told you not to speak any Russian, and you spoke Russian.
You keep doing it. Stop.
Bang, bang, bang.
Nicole gets made immediately, as they put it. I just have to. This clip is so fucking funny.
With Nicole being made by the pirate staff, she was unable to get a true sense of the customer experience inside.
Yeah, they were giving her a lot of extra attention. Again, this is an attraction where every employee is a performer, so they're all doing their pirate shtick with her.
Also, you know, there's cameras following her around everywhere.
Yeah.
She's the only one in this bar. They would have seen what she looks like from season 1. It's no mystery as to how she got made.
So then they do a weird thing. They get people that Taffer rescued in season 1.
But they have a bad experience, right? They can't get good service. The food looks terrible.
They show up as like the target guest of the bar, like two people who decide that they're going to dress up as pirates and go out for a pirate night. And they go to the dining area and no one ever sees them. And then because the guy has the like shield of being in character, the employee, he starts giving them lip when they're like, hey, no one was here, so we sat ourselves. He's like, well, I have a fucking job to do back there. And it's like, oh, this is...
I have to
just
scrub the deck.
berating them.
Don't say fuck to the customers. Jesus. Yeah, this is not Coyote
So
Ugly.
they deliver their recon report to Taffer.
What'd you think?
It's tough in there. The staff was really odd. It was uncomfortable.
How bad was the food?
The food was disgusting. There was a mahi, and it was supposed to be fresh. They were frozen products.
No truth in menu. What'd you have to drink?
I started off with the grog, and I mean, it was disgusting. I think that they really believe that's a good product to be serving.
So you think they did it right?
I do believe that, yes.
Well, I'll tell you guys, this is a strange one because it runs deep. It's more than just food, more than just beverage. There's a cultural thing in this business that's killing it. All right, guys, I'm going to work.
All right.
I'll see you.
Take care.
The pirate thing is a cultural issue, is the way he puts it.
I immediately am looking at this and I'm assessing the problem as it is a themed attraction in an area that is not well suited for themed attractions. But the other part of the problem is that none of these fucking people know what they're doing. Clearly.
Yeah.
There's a point at which you see them pouring the grog And
oh God,
it is one of the most insane things I have ever seen.
It has 9 shots in it. So to make the grog, they put the ice in the glass first, and there's 3 shots each of white rum and spiced rum, I believe. Yep. And then she does 2 more shots of something else, and then like another shot of some liqueur to top it off.
Yeah, there's like 3 different rums, I think, in total, including whatever goes on top.
And there's like a blue something, and I don't think that was blue curacao. I think that was another like sugary sweetener of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, you can't drink that and drive. Like
you can't drink that, period.
Again, this is a bar that was started by someone who never even herself worked in the Renfair side of the industry. This is just a lady who thought, this stuff is really magical. I feel great. What if I could make this my entire life? She is deluded beyond all reason. And the cultural issue is the person who made this bar should not be running anything at all.
If you're not ashamed by the fact that you have menu lies, that you're serving food that is undercooked, what makes you ashamed?
I have an establishment that I believe.
You're not ashamed of what you're doing.
No.
Then I can't help you. Because you're never going to have pride in it.
What the that guy talk like that, eh?
Are you ashamed of the food that was served tonight?
Nope.
The food is good.
Your food is the worst I've ever seen. It stinks.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you should stop cooking tomorrow and not cook anymore. Your food stinks. No how to
Nobody
cook.
claim about that.
Let me explain something to you. She had to buy them your dinner tonight because you blew it.
Because the customer.
No, because you blew it. And how dare you put hard
I
work
clean my
in.
hand too.
I got my work cut out for me. You're a fool, man. You're a fool. I cannot succeed. I can't fix this bar until these people accept that they're failing.
So that's Giussiano, who is
Incredible
Tracy,
name.
the owner's husband.
Yeah, he is he is her husband, who's 15 years younger than her, and he runs the kitchen, and he's just, I don't think he'd ever cooked before.
No, he can't cook.
No, I think they say that he'd never had a kitchen job, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I doubt he even really cooked much ever.
Well, we see one of his dishes, right? And it's chicken and habaneros.
He just
and
poured a
that's
bunch of different like hot sauces on it. And I was like, well, maybe there's something good in there. Their consultant goes in. He's like, this is way too spicy. And then Giussiano himself takes a bite and has to spit it out into the trash can because he's never tasted his own food.
And then after, doesn't he say like it's good?
Something like that, yeah. They have an 18-page menu. They have an 18-page menu of dishes that this man has never made before in his life. And he's like, okay, let's throw some hot peppers on it, I guess.
Okay, so here's a question that I have at this point. What Taffer is going to do is insane. We know this because that's the nature of bar rescue.
Yeah.
What would we do if we wanted to try to save this bar? If we want to try to rescue it?
I think I would do what he actually does with the Las Vegas bar. I would do what he does with the Las Vegas bar later, which is take the concept of pirate, which is not a bad concept.
Right.
Long John Silver's is very successful, right? And then incorporate that into a bar that is not so aggressive against the corporate people who want to have lunch around there, right? So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Give it a pirate theme in the way that a lot of bars have a tiki theme, right? There's no performance element to it. There's no show happening. There's no character, but like that's the motif you're going with your decorations.
And if you want that, you can book out a room in the back patio that is currently unutilized and have like a themed party there, a pirate show,
like party room.
You know, or maybe like once a week you do a pirate show back there. But Jon Taffer hates pirates
another
too
thing
much.
we don't see is that they do have like bands that come in and play sea shanties. Again, that can kind of fit your theme, but then you can have other nights where you don't do that. Again, the problem is she wants to do the performance. She wants it to be the attraction.
What about pirate brunch?
Ooh.
Yeah. You could have done that. They could have done pirate brunch, bottomless grog, but make the grog good.
Make the grog good, yeah. In terms of the theming stuff, you have the opportunity to lean into the theme on the weekends.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Silver Spring is mostly a commuter town, but there are still people who live there, and it's accessible via the Red Line on the Washington Metro. So, like, there's no good reason that you couldn't do both.
Yeah, you can button up and then button down on the weekend and make it the attraction that people will travel to go see, because they do have a fan base, right? I found the Facebook group for the fans of the Tavern who still talk about it today. They still continue to make posts.
We have two elements that should not mix here, right? We have somebody who clearly should not be running a bar, but then we also have Jon Taffer, who refuses to like even consider the theming halfway.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because his solution to this is wild.
But I think he's right in that it's just the wrong place. Like if you want to run an attraction, you have to be in a different place than where they are.
Agreed.
And the only way forward for them was to basically do that plan of like serving lunch to people who are working in the office and on their lunch break.
And his plan basically is we are fully rebranding this. We're getting rid of everything pirate.
Yeah.
We're bringing in those suits during the 9 to 5. We're making our money on lunch and happy hour. But Tracy is not on board.
We have to win this war. And we're not going to win this war as a pirate bar.
I don't believe in throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I think there are changes that can be made. I don't think that the essence needs to be sacrificed for that.
If we were in St. Petersburg, Florida, we could talk about a family attraction. There's no pirates here.
So completely and totally changing every aspect of this that has survived for 5 years.
Yes. You're living in the basement of your parents' house with your daughter. When do you say to yourself, this is my enemy?
It's not my enemy.
$1 million.
It's not my enemy. So Pirates Tavern becomes yet another casualty where the soul has been removed because it's not workable.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
The soul of here.
Businesses don't have souls. Businesses are profit centers.
So it becomes a martini bar.
When are you going to get it in your head? Pirates isn't working.
You're asking me to throw away everything that's in here.
Do you want to be a pirate or do you want to send your daughter to college?
What a binary.
Yeah. Hard toss up there.
Yeah, this is just such an interesting moment that speaks to how Taffer thinks about things.
Yeah.
Which is he's got very clear boundaries around his concept of what a bar ought to be. And then what Tracy thinks of the thing as being, which is just straight up not working. And this to me is a great example of how Taffer doesn't listen to people.
Yeah.
He will never listen to people because he always assumes that they are wrong about everything.
And again, I think part of this is the branding has already been done, right? They had to get signs and stuff made that they install in like a day. So all that's already prepared in a warehouse by the other people who work on the show.
Right. I didn't even think
the
about
rebrand
that.
is designed before they even set foot on location to film.
Even just from a TV standpoint, you know, they know that it's not going to be as compelling to the audience if Jon Taffer seriously sits there and says, you know what, girl, like, you're kind of right.
Yeah.
Actually, if we meet halfway and the costumes instead are just like you guys wear a Hawaiian shirt and a bandana, then whoa, low-key, this could be like really fun in a rainforest cafe sort of thing, but for Silver Sprigs.
Yeah.
That is not like... They know that the audience will not like that, and it's only fun when Jon Taffer says, no, you suck, and I'm going to ruin this whole thing and make it mine now.
And also, his whole idea of like a bar is just a profit center. And like, yes, you do need to make money. You have to find that compromise. But no one starts a bar to make a profit center. People start a bar because they all have a dream of being the guy with the bar. Same with restaurants.
And probably a drinking problem. Let's be very clear.
These are very bars and restaurants are very, very difficult businesses. People continue to go into them because there is a romance to the idea.
And two, beyond just the people who start them up, the thing that keeps them going, in some cases, it is that they operate very efficiently as profit centers. But in a lot of cases, it's because of the fact that you can go there and, you know, it's the fucking Cheers thing. It's where everybody knows your name, right?
I do, because that's the thing is that Taffer is confrontational in the Sand Dollar episode as well. And then at the end, he's like, well, I've kept some of the branding. Like, that's satisfying television, too.
Yeah.
Because it shows that he listened, right? And was able to incorporate that in. The fact that the rebrand that he pitches for this bar is as aggressive as it is.
It's really brutal.
So against the spirit of the original establishment, he even tells them that he takes Tavern out of it because it's a bad name. And I'm like, you mean like Tavern?
And him complaining, he complains that the grog is too sugary too. And the
Yeah.
cocktails at Taffer's Tavern are just like soda with booze.
Ridiculous.
And they're crazy drinks.
And there's also that wonderful scene where, like, it's not wonderful, it's very, like, inducing,
Horrible.
but, like, the one pirate who just leaves and never comes back because, like, I will not be screamed at by a grown man like this. And I'm
and
like,
the show leans
that's
on how
fair.
absurd it is that he's dressed like a pirate while saying that. However, that is his job. That's the clothes he wears for work.
Check out this Mickey Mouse over here wearing a Mickey Mouse outfit.
Take
What
the
a
hat
fool.
off. That guy leaves because he's being screamed at. And
Yeah.
it is no understatement that Jon Taffer really does lay it on the entire staff. He's screaming at the top of his lungs. And I really liked this moment when he's done screaming. He looks to the guy who was introduced earlier.
Mike. One-eyed Mike.
Yeah.
One-eyed Mike. He's one-eyed. He's the most in the pirate out of the whole staff.
Yes.
He looks at Mike after screaming at his face and telling him he's dressed like a 6-year-old child and it's like his favorite thing to do. And he says, you know, you have a great personality. And then they like handshake and then they're like buddies now.
And poor Mike too. I mean, they try to retrain the whole staff in how to serve neurotypically.
Yeah. Because he's
It's
so
sad.
used to doing the character and he's done other jobs and he keeps coming back to pirates. This is something that is just, this is Renfair. This is a lot of Renfair people. Like, this is just something that he has found, and actors in general, something that he has found that fits him. And it's the character that he's learned how to do. And he has to drop all of that and become a like 90s ponytail guy in a suit.
Ladies, good evening. What brings you here this time?
Mike, are you still a pirate or are we back to normal?
Fine. Good evening and welcome, ladies. What brings you here this evening?
They're a mess. I mean, they're insane. There's nothing I can compare it to. Let's do it in normal people voices and not in pirate.
You asked me to have a conversation. So the first thing I'm going to ask about is what brings you this evening?
Yeah, I understand that, but you're no longer at a pirate bar, so let's talk like a normal person. You know, I'm just...
What do you want me to do? Like, this is just me.
I think that they have to accept the fact that they're screwing everything up before they can move on, and maybe tonight will be a wake-up call for them. Act like the people you see outside of this place.
I hate those people. Okay.
Those people are gonna make you money.
It's pretty brutal.
It's really brutal. And the music is doing some heavy lifting there with the
Look at this ridiculous person. Yeah.
Like, I was watching this and I seriously was like, wow, he's not doing the pirate shtick here. This is just it's like a certain type of autistic guy who has a specific cadence in the way he talks, and he's not doing anything.
No.
He just talks like that, and that's how he converses with people. And she says, talk normal.
In the moment where he says, I hate those people, and then like pulls himself back together, it's like, I empathize with this man so fucking strongly.
Yeah, and this is the thing they do in acting school too, when they try to get you like to your like this neutral American accent, right? Which isn't neutral at all. It's look, it's a useful skill to have, but it's not about beating it out of them. It's about giving them another tool in their tool set, right? And there's a way to train him where it's like, yes, you have the pirate thing down, fucking Pat, my guy.
Right.
You are so good at that. I'm going to teach you how to do a different voice,
a new character.
different character.
Right.
Yes.
And your character is a boring corporate guy who sucks.
And that's the thing, right? Is at the end of the day, if you were to take that tack with him, I imagine he would feel more empowered, because just to me, when I hear talk normal, the impact that I feel my whole soul start to die, and I cave in myself like a fucking dying star.
Like, he's saying words that make sense, and you know what he's saying. Like, what the fuck do you mean talk normal? Just because of his like lilt and the melodic way he talks is the
it is normal for him.
Yes,
it's so normal.
And also, it's like his job has just changed entirely, right?
Yeah.
He's signed on to this. He came back to this place multiple times because it was a performance job, and now it's not a performance job.
But also, you say it's not a performance job, but it is performance.
It's a different
just
kind of
different
performance.
type of performance.
But it's not the kind of performance he wants to be doing at all.
Right.
Right.
But I guess this is something that I just come back to as somebody who is who grew up I don't know, always having to figure out how to perform socialization for different groups of people because it never came naturally to me.
Yeah.
When I see this, it just brings back so many bad memories, and it makes me extremely fucking angry.
It is interesting to like see him sort of adapt to it over the next, couple days. But God, this first stress test is really rough. They edit the footage to make it look like he's going to stab the woman who's in charge of him. But I think that's very misleading because the shot is so short. It looks like somebody asked for a knife and he picked it up. But the way they edit it, it looks like he's going to stab her to death.
Yeah.
The other big thing that happens in the stress test is that Giussiano just leaves.
Yeah.
he just
right.
He's just unfit to run a kitchen, right?
Yeah.
For him, he did sign up to be in a kitchen. He did not sign up to be a pirate performer.
Right.
He never was one. And he's just bad at the job. He's just the wrong person for it.
Taffer demotes him to runner, and he is not happy about it.
No.
But anyway, Taffer unveils the new design, and this is how it goes.
Oh, that's just...
What the f*** is that?
I'm scared of this.
First of all, I wanted to make certain that all the office buildings and the cars that drove
There's the
by
sound.
knew we were new.
So good.
2, I had to communicate that we were for the business community. And 3, I had to communicate that we were food friendly. Hence the word tavern is gone. The whole point of this look is to get those business people to walk through this front door.
They give you stew. Like,
Little apprehensive?
It's a big change, John. It's a really big change for all of us.
The staff is apprehensive, but I feel great about this place.
So we have to talk about what this place is called because they had to make it more corporate for their corporate audience. So they call
what
it
do they name it?
the Corporate Bar and Grill. And their sign is just the Nathan for You logo.
Yes! Yes!
Because when you're working a 9 to 5 in Silver Springs, Maryland, when you have your suit and tie on and you leave the office building, the next thing you want to do is go to a bar themed about your job.
Yeah, like
that's what you want to do.
Like he has been saying good things about how a business would work better in this place by making it more corporate. This is just a slap in everyone's face. This is like fuck you and your fucking pirate thing. It's also saying fuck you to the customers again because it's just like you're a corporate stooge, right? Here's a guy in a suit. Go fuck yourself.
To rename the Pirates Tavern into Corporate Bar and Grill, like it is just the most apt metaphor.
It's so mean
for how capitalism ruins everything.
And he makes them buy like there's so much stuff that's like, okay, we're gonna do drinks that aren't this fucking weird grog thing that the owner came up with. But then they're like, we're gonna ice everything down using the fucking spherical ice that you have to have shipped to you, and it's very expensive.
Oh my god, the explanation for the ice is so funny. There's a whole intercut thing with the narrator explaining that like cubed ice is actually really bad for you and gets you sick, and it's really bad, and that's why you have to use the circular ice. And then when it cuts to the mixologist explaining why they're doing it, she just says like, oh, it's because it doesn't melt as fast, and customers don't like drinks when they're watered down. But they have this guy being like, it's really dangerous.
The impurities in the tap water.
Science.
Of note, by the way, that mixologist was like the head mixologist at Diageo, which is like the big spirits company.
Okay.
I also noticed the chef they brought in was the executive chef at Lure Fish Bar, which in 2012 was a really fucking good restaurant.
They called him Chef Capon, and I was like, there's no way that's his actual name, Capon. But no, his name is
all of this stuff, right? All of these like enhancements that they bring to the bar, like the fucking smart bar, which is made out of the corpse.
Yeah, the
robot.
weird like serve yourself cocktail vending machine and beer tap that they have in the front, because they're still going to have this unattended basically front area. They haven't actually fixed whatever the flow issue is there.
All you got to do is put a host out front. It's not that hard.
It's a science, Josh. It's a science.
Yeah, it is a science, but it's also just like that thing's going to break down all the time. Taco Bell can't maintain a soda fountain. You think the Pirates
McDonald's
people
can't maintain an ice cream machine.
My local Circle K didn't have Coca-Cola for 3 days. It was just water.
It was madness. It reminds me of like when you're watching Queer Eye, right? And Anthony's just like, if you use fresh ingredients, you'll eat healthier. And it's like, oh yeah, I wonder why I didn't think of that. It's because they're too expensive.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you could make this place have better food, but that's going to cost so much more money than they can spend right now because they're almost $1 million in the hole.
Yeah, you think the pirates are going to be able to handle all this tech and cleaning it out and, refilling it and knowing how it works? They're pirates.
This is something that often happens with these kinds of shows, though. Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
Oh, my God.
They often will do similar things where they will put in stuff into the house that is not useful and is going to be expensive to maintain. And it's like, why is this here?
Yeah, that happened. There was an Extreme Makeover Home Edition that happened near my hometown on the reservation. And like they made it have high ceilings and it had to be like powered to heat and cool.
Sure.
And it was like, it's way too fucking expensive to run the heat in the winter. All the heat just goes way up into that super high ceiling now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's like people winning like Ferraris and things. And then they have to pay the insurance on those Ferraris that they can't fucking afford.
It's the classic when Oprah gifted everybody the cars.
Yes.
It's that classic thing of that never happens ever again because everybody realized, oh, I now have to pay to maintain a car.
Yeah. Pay the taxes for it.
Right.
No thanks.
Yep.
And it really backfired.
I felt so many feelings by the end of this one because
this one's just so close to home.
I mean, this is like the one where it's like Jon Taffer like does strip these people of what makes them happy. And he says, now you deal with it because now you make money.
Per the Washington Post, Pirates Tavern closed for good in 2015.
I mean, to be fair, they threw all this out the week after he was there.
Oh, yeah.
And they burned the sign.
They burned and shot the sign.
Yes. There is, I pulled the clip. There is a YouTube video. It's still up. Where
hundreds
there are
of
photos
thousands
of
of
them
views on this video, by the way.
shooting and burning the sign. There's a sea shanty, an original sea shanty that sounds like this.
We are all buccaneers, pirates and privateers in this corporate bar and grill. You said you'd rescue us. You disrespected us, and our dreams you tried to kill. I never watched your show. I had no way to know what a bastard you could be. Unbridled arrogance with nothing in your pants. Perfect for reality TV.
This is a Decemberist song.
It is?
The tune is a Decemberist song?
Yeah, no, that's the Big Mariners tragedy song.
Okay.
It's like 10-minute song.
Well, this goes on for 5.5 minutes. So,
this is a very long, and it's basically just a slideshow of them shooting the sign, painting an eye patch on it, setting it on fire in an open field.
This is from Pirates Tavern on Facebook, and it was posted March 26, 2015. So this was a few years after the episode was released, correct?
Right.
It reads, "Hear ye, hear ye. Pirates Tavern will open its doors for the last time on Saturday, April 4th. Unfortunately, the negative publicity, constant prank calls, vandalism, and bogus reviews generated by our unfortunate participation on Bar Rescue have taken their toll. To add insult to injury, late last year, Taffer's crew reached out to me again asking that we participate in a Back to the Bar episode. They promised that it would be followed by a re-rescue and that they would right all the wrongs committed during the first episode. Obviously, I don't learn. I believed them.
Oh, no.
On December 1st, we went to the effort to open on a Monday, the one day a week we have been closed for 8 years, with a skeleton staff of former employees who agreed to play the parts. It was basically coerced and staged to be an opening act for a re-rescue. I was told to bring in several changes of clothes to make it appear that filming covered several days.
That's crazy.
As usual, they brought in a bunch of extras to fill the house, and we were told what to say and with whom to speak. Throughout the entire shoot, the director coached Giussiano to curse and say negative things about Jon Taffer. He referred to me as the hero, my daughter as the victim, and Giussiano as the villain. Total bullshit. Like sad emoji, or I think it's like a emoji. Basically, we've been fucked by reality TV again, and we know one to blame but ourselves. We have decided not to renew our lease. Just can't take anymore. Director James Agiesta sweet-talked me into the deal and then left us behind like carnage, just like the first time. A huge thanks to all of you who worked and played so hard to make Pirates Tavern the awesome place it has been for the last 8 years.
And just a little postscript on this. They ended up opening up another bar down in Florida, in Brevard County, on the ocean, east of Orlando. It was called Bar Refuge. In February 2017, Giussiano and Tracy were arrested. Giussiano for battery and Tracy for DUI. Bar Refuge came under new management in 2018 and then closed for good around 2019.
And the recent reviews for Bar Refuge said it was good. Like there's like
most of them
positive
were
reviews
pretty
for
good.
Bar Refuge.
Yeah.
And again, like I talked about the dedicated Facebook fans, they were posting about they're all kind of dancing on the corpse of the Taffer's Tavern that closed down.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Tracy eventually, has gone back to creative directing in a more corporate role where she can actually make money. On her LinkedIn, she actually said about her time running the bars was, I don't know what got into me. I'm back doing what I love most.
Huh.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Really.
But like, yeah, there's the cost of like running business poorly. And then there's also the fact that the Bar Rescue fans are very present online and rabid.
Yeah.
That
They are
subreddit
aggressive.
is fucking crazy.
How far away from actual reality is what we get in this show?
I mean, the goal is really not rescuing, right? The goal is Jon Taffer yelling at people. That's the top thing. Seeing some grotesque stuff is the main goal. And yeah, the way that reality TV is done, everyone's supposed to be playing something up. Whenever they're being spied on, they know that something is happening. We didn't watch the re-rescue of this. That sounds just awful.
It's all to serve the narrative that Jon Taffer is a super genius, a business wizard who can come in and give you the hard truths, but will ultimately fix your bar and save your bar. And even if he didn't, well, that's your fault somehow.
Yeah,
right?
it always ends up being your fault. There is.
I hate the final title card of this particular episode because it's so mean. It's just like, it says after a week of the rebrand, they tore everything down. And then the final line is she still lives in her mother's basement. Yeah. Like, fuck you. You didn't listen to me. You get to rot in your fucking hole. And it's like, yes, on the one hand, this woman should not be running a bar. 100%. But you don't have to be vindictive about it just because they didn't like your shitty rebranding where you didn't even fill all the fucking holes in the wall on your fucking soft open.
The whole premise of this episode, too, is as we talked about with Mike and how hard they are on him and the way that the expert speaks to him. It really seemed to me like the message of this episode that production and Jon Taffer were trying to convey is that what you think is truest to yourself is actually and can be completely wrong, and you just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Which is so icky, the way that they are portraying this.
We're going to take a break now, and when we get to our second half, we're going to look at 3 more rescues. Some of which are, well, I think all of which are pretty fucking crazy for different reasons. So we're also going to get into some litigation, which is very exciting.
Ooh.
And we're going to learn about a porno. So stay tuned for all that right after this.
Hey, wait, what's going on? Hey, ow!
Ow! Oh, microphone. Okay. I guess I'll just read this. This year, 6,500 failing bars nationwide will close their doors for good, most of them owned by actual children.
Molly, sweetie, you can't drink the lemonade. That's for the customers. F you, Mom!
If things don't change soon, Molly Cunningham's lemonade stand of Bakersfield, California, located in the heart of the shops at Riverwalk, just outside the TJ Maxx, will become just another statistic.
Well, I went up to get some lemonade, and then she said she didn't have any lemonade, so I left.
When she first set up her stand some 3 hours ago, Molly had a dream of buying a Labubu.
I want a Labubu!
But Molly's mom said she had to earn it.
I just thought it would be a fun thing to do. Teach her some responsibility, have her meet the community. I'm sorry, can we stop?
But now, Molly's on the sugar high from hell.
Molly, we don't eat the lemonade powder straight from the packet.
I will never die.
And with the Cunninghams $30 in debt, Molly's mom has agreed to open the shop, bust open the books, and call for help to Bar Rescue Junior.
Bakersfield, the Vegas of the West. I love this town. They got an Orange Julius here that will knock your socks off. Whoa, wow! That girl's getting into a fight. Hey, it's a fist fight. Let's stop it.
Let go of Bobby's hair, sweetie. That's not how we play, Molly.
You, child. Guess what?
Chicken butt.
You think that's funny? Your lemonade stand is going down the drain and you're making jokes? Do you want to take responsibility for your actions or not?
I'm 8.5 years old.
Oh, and you think that makes you a big kid? You can't even spell lemonade. What the is lemon order? Are you stupid?
I know you are, but what am I?
Stupid.
I know you are, but what am I?
Stupid.
I know you are, but what am I?
Stupid.
I know you are.
This went on for several hours, but then Molly escalated things in a way Jon never saw coming.
Gary's gonna beat you up.
Who the is Gary?
Gary is her imaginary friend.
Oh, well, I've got a buddy named Steve the Knife who's gonna stab Gary until he bleeds all over the pavement. How do you like that?
Gary has a magic knife vest that protects him from knives.
Motherfucker!
And then Gary is gonna pull out a gun.
Whoa. Gary, let's be reasonable about this.
And then Gary shoots Steve. Bang! 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 Bang!
Steve, no! Oh no, Steve, no!
Later that day, Jon makes his way to the local cemetery to say goodbye to his friend.
Steve was a good guy, a stand-up guy, an anthropomorphic knife with googly eyes who wasn't just great at stabbing, but great at being a friend. I'm just a simple bar scientist. I can tell you the exact angle to scoop ice for highest efficiency of scooping ice good, -48 degrees. And I can tell you how many hotties you need in a club to increase your customer retention by 50%. It's all of them. It's all the hotties. But when it comes to the matters of the heart, well, I ain't no hot scientist. But Steve the Knife taught me you don't need to be a heart scientist to feel love. You could just feel it. I don't know. Maybe I've been a bit too harsh on people. Maybe I could stand to do a little less word stabbing and a little more word loving. From this day forward, in honor of Steve's memory and for the 14 sons Steve leaves behind, I vow today to be kinder, to be more forgiving, to...
Ha ha, your friend is dead.
Okay, I'm gonna kill a child today. I'm gonna kill a child. Get over here! I just wanna kill you! Get over here! Stab it down!
Bar Rescue Jr. has been canceled forever. Can I go home now? Hello? Hello? Oh, Gary, how are you going to get yourself out of this one? That's right. I'm Gary. I've been Gary this whole time. I killed that knife. And you know what? I'll f***ing do it again. Jon Taffer's rescued so many bars, but can he rescue you from me? Find out in Gary Rescue, coming this fall to Spike TV. We're back, and we're going to keep rescuing some bars together, folks.
What state are we going to next, Josh?
We are going to the great state of Nevada.
Nope.
No.
We're not.
I can't believe you did that.
Such a state does not exist.
This is episode... This is season 3, episode 11. Don't mess with Taffer's wife.
You can't watch this one.
No, unless you have a way to download it.
I mean, you can watch it.
You are a pirate.
You can't watch it legally. That's right. You have to be a pirate of Pirates Tavern to be able to get a hold of this one.
And this episode was shot at a bar called the Sand Dollar and originally released on July 7, 2013.
Single mom Lisa Garina borrowed money from her friend, Dr. Paul Wilkes, to try to resuscitate the dead bar.
Lisa and I met when I was going through a divorce. She was the hottest girl ever.
Paul and I sort of dated, but it was never taken too serious. And we're now business partners.
What?
So much to unpack here. First of all, very clearly 2 different clips. I met her while I was going through a divorce. Several sentences later says she was the hottest girl alive. Probably at the producer saying, was she hot though?
Yeah.
Like, this is so Spike TV coded, this particular episode. And as we would learn from the litigation spoilers that comes from this episode, he was coached into behaving this way, but also the things that he chooses to say. I feel like this is fundamentally a part of who this man is.
Everyone is coached on this show. That's the thing. You do see the worst side of everyone because they're being told to show that. However, most of the people who are featured on this program do not say and do the things that this particular man chooses to say and do.
Yeah, so here's what that man says and does to the clientele in his own bar.
Don't try to grab my junk.
To make matters worse, co-owner Paul alienates female customers.
When Paul is in our bar, he's got no filter.
What's the most orgasms you've had in one session? If you're not in the same area code, it doesn't count as cheating. Don't try and drop a roofie in my drink, because I don't fall for that twice. Don't come up to me with half your titties hanging out and not expect me to look and comment on them.
It is the most this guy doesn't actually talk like that. What was the first line he said, too? He said, what was that first one he said?
The one before when they crack the whip?
Yeah.
What's the most orgasms you've had in a single night?
What's the most orgasms?
Session.
Like, that's no one who says that. You know, who goes up to someone in a way to be like a little pervy and playful and said, so what's the most orgasms you've had in a night?
How you comes do it.
So just to give a little reality check on this reality TV, as we mentioned, and we should get this out of the way right away. This episode is no longer available for viewing on Paramount Plus because it was subject to a great deal of litigation. This man here, Dr. Paul Wilkes, sued the production company because he felt that the show was portraying him in an unfair light and had been basically making him do a bunch of things that he would not have otherwise done for the sake of the episode. This is taken directly from the text of the lawsuit.
Dr. Wilkes told the producer that he was uncomfortable making offensive comments about women because as an OBGYN, who is a partner in one of the largest private perinatal medical practices in the state of Nevada, his professional reputation would be damaged beyond repair if people ever found out. The producer told Dr. Wilkes that since it was only a casting tape, none of the comments that Dr. Wilkes made would ever be aired in any public forum. In the end, the producer had Dr. Wilkes make such comments as, "Don't come up to me with half your titties hanging out and not expect me to look and comment on them. And I think in order to get a driver's license in Las Vegas, you have to have fake titties. They are delicious. Tonight, it's like the holy grail of pussy. When I see huge boobies, I just don't have a clutch. The shit that comes into my head comes out of my mouth."
Was this actually news to you, Caitlyn, about him being an OBGYN?
It was new. It is actually news to me that he was specifically an OBGYN. I know of the other issues with this episode.
Isn't that
but
crazy?
Specifically, yes. No, that's so bad.
What's weird is that it also gives a shocking context to when he makes the women do the elbow thing.
He has them bend their elbows so that the crease in the elbow looks like their vagina.
And I want to be very clear about something. This is a gross and horrible thing to do, but if it's prefaced by, I'm an OBGYN, I see vaginas every day. In fact, I know I can usually tell by looking at blah, blah, blah. Like, that makes more sense than the out of the blue. It's like, I know what your vagina looks like. Like, this is context that is helpful.
And then the way that he talks.
I don't think that he is, as an OBGYN, going up to women and being like, hey, as a doctor.
I think he is. I think he is. I think he is doing exactly that. I think that was cut from that scene, but because the way that he starts is like, I can look at your elbows and tell exactly how your vagina looks. And I think that is something that he has prefaced with, I'm a doctor, by the way. So like the idea of this is trying to wow them with his credentials and then do this stupid little like 14-year-old boy camp trick.
Per the lawsuit, at least, what is alleged in the suit, this was also all coached out of him, where it was like, we need you to go and really, really hit on these women. No, hit on them more.
Yeah.
More.
It's like they found out he was an OBGYN and then production themselves are like, oh, well, this guy must be a pervert because
According
he's
to
a
the
male
lawsuit,
gynecologist.
that is
And
exactly what they
which is so shitty.
And then they never mention that fact in
And he
the
is
episode.
such a
and that's
fucking
wild.
moron for playing along with it. I feel
Yes.
like if you've made
Yes.
it this far, you understand the value of your credentials as a doctor. Don't do this shit, man.
Should have pulled out. Poor
Whoa.
phrasing. Poor phrasing. Not to kick him while he's down. But yeah, I mean, like, I do wonder if this knowledge that I don't know is did he lose his medical license for this? Like,
That's a
did
good
he lose
question.
his
I
ability
don't
to practice?
think so, but I do think that he did suffer a fair bit of reputational damage. For the record, this ended up getting settled. They settled it out of court. We don't know what for, but the court did not actually end up awarding damages because they chose to settle instead, which is very common in situations like this.
And we can tell that it was probably somewhat favorable to him because the entire episode got yanked.
We've got Lisa and Paul. Lisa gets a 10% cut of the profits that the bar makes. That is her only source of income. And as such, she needs the bar to be cash positive in order to make any fucking money.
She does have the other source of income, which is just that she bartends.
Right.
So when it's not cash positive, she's just bartending and not doing any of the management work that she needs to do.
She's living on tips, basically.
This is a historic bar, too. This was a big blues bar in the 1970s. And of course, the blues has just become less and less of an attraction over the years.
One of the issues that's going on with this bar is that it's a Las Vegas bar, but nobody's actually playing the games.
Right.
At the bar, there are tables with video poker. There's screens, rather, with video poker. Because those games aren't getting played, one of the people that Taffer brings in is a gaming expert. So Taffer basically, again, decides that blues is obsolete. The whole thing for their bar is obsolete. He naturally throws out their entire value proposition and identity in favor of an imagined larger market. And then we get the big moment where Paul starts hitting on Jon Taffer's wife. As promised in the title, he messes with Taffer's wife and gets the horns.
Hey, Doc! I'm watching you hit on my wife and disrespect her. Is that the way our relationship is gonna start? You're hitting on my wife!
Listen, I'm not hitting on your wife. If I were hitting on your wife, we'd already be out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
I got your frickin' game, and I know exactly what you're up to. You will never touch my wife. Nicole, we're leaving. And honestly, I don't know if I want to rescue your damn bar. Nicole, let's go.
And then he storms out, and nothing else happens.
So chances are, according to this, that might not be what happened. On February 11th, 2013, an entire camera crew burst into the Sand Dollar from every available entrance, carrying large cameras, boom mics, and lights, following Taffer as he entered the Sand Dollar carrying an electronic tablet to confront Dr. Wilkes. Taffer yelled, "I want you to see a few things, you piece of shit!" Taffer showed Dr. Wilkes footage from the January audition where Dr. Wilkes insulted the way that Taffer dressed. Dr. Wilkes was holding a plastic cup of Diet Coke in his hand, which Taffer grabbed. Taffer threw the drink into Dr. Wilkes' face and then smashed the cup into Dr. Wilkes' face, calling him a pervert and a scumbag. Taffer then spit in Dr. Wilkes' face and tore off Dr. Wilkes' shirt so violently that 4 buttons ripped off in the attack. Simultaneously, Todd Watkins, a college friend of Dr. Wilkes, intervened and stepped between the two men. Taffer then swung over Todd's shoulder and punched Dr. Wilkes on his left jaw with a closed fist. Todd backed Taffer against the wall in an effort to stop him from further attacking Dr. Wilkes. Taffer began hyperventilating and collapsed to the floor, and the entire attack was caught on camera.
Well, Jesus, that's why it was settled out of court. They had footage.
I like that this ends with Taffer falling over, hyperventilating on the floor.
He got owned.
Taffer just shows him the tablet. I want to show you a few things, and it's just Pulsar dancing on the dance floor. Isn't this incredible?
This is the best thing you've ever seen.
I got tears in my eyes.
Why are you not crying?
This made me cry.
Give you something to cry about. Punches him in the jaw.
Well, and this explains also the big weird tonal shift that happens in the show because they do the because he always yells at them and then they have to like the next day they have to be like, yeah, here are our faults, and he's like, I'll help you out. And so with this one, it's like, I sexually harassed your wife. Now I'm in a button-up shirt and saying I'm so sorry. To which Taffer responds in his little confessional afterwards. He says, you know, when I was looking across the table, I saw a good man. He's sincere.
Yeah, and that whole exchange, like, I don't even think it's just Dr. Wilkes crying. Like,
everybody's crying.
Nicole is crying, and then like the other owner, Lisa, she's crying.
Taffer's crying.
So clearly something has happened, and everybody feels bad, and there is some other weight in the room.
Yeah, and then it's also how cowed Dr. Wilkes is the rest of the episode.
They try to make it seem like he's still talking all pervy by using old clips from the old audition sessions.
This is another weird thing about how this show works, is that it always attempts to construct a redemption narrative for the owners. Yeah. Because it starts out with being like, these owners are so fucking stupid, they don't know what they're doing. But then it wants you to like be back on side with them. Yeah. Because it's important that Taffer and the owner are on the same page. And it's important that the audience be empathetic with both.
Yeah.
This rarely works in this show.
Yeah. Because you could make it work if you're choosing different bars, right? There are other bars that are applying for this show that have some problems. And those problems could be alleviated with a bar rescue. But that's not what they want to show on Spike TV.
And I mean, Caitlyn, you've watched a fair bit of Bar Rescue. I would assume there are some episodes where they do manage to pull this off, right?
Oh, yeah. There's some episodes where, I mean, even by the end, everybody's happy. There's some episodes where there genuinely is, like, I actually think there's an episode in this list where the end result is very positive. Everybody's happy. Everybody seems to have a great time, and all the staff pulls through, and they buckle up their shoes and they're good. No, it's so rare in this, though, unlike Kitchen Nightmares, where there are so many, like almost every episode of Kitchen Nightmares, they're better in the end. I would say 90% they're better in the end. This one, they really like to show people just failing and not listening because, of course, nobody listens to Jon Taffer, and everyone's so mean to him. Everybody's so mean to him.
He's so
He's
just a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
How could they not heed his wisdom?
It's also so funny that they try to introduce like drama within like the other employees. Like there's just one guy who's like, you're a fucking liar, and it's like, who are either of these two people?
Everybody hates Pauly.
So it's over something ridiculous too. It's like, oh, Pauly actually complains about Lisa and doesn't think she's a good manager. By the way, in this episode, it has been established that Lisa is a terrible manager. Not even a manager at that. She just gets behind the bar and bartends. And this other employee calls out Pauly and is like, yeah, you actually hate Lisa. And Pauly goes, no, I never said that. And then the other employee's like, you're a liar. Everybody else chimes in, Pauly, you do hate Lisa. You complain about it all the time. And then Jon Taffer looks at Pauly and is like, you're a liar. I can see you're a liar. It's over nothing. It's like, who cares that you don't like the manager that we've said sucks at her job?
Yeah, and it just never really comes up again. And by the way, if you're picturing Pauly in your head, you're correct. This is the most Pauly to ever Pauly.
Absolutely. And some other things happen. Lisa keeps getting behind the bar, sort of demonstrating that she's unable to delegate.
Yeah, because they keep trying to be like, today you're just going to be a manager, right?
Right.
And then she's like, no, I got to just do it myself.
And it's always so interesting in these episodes. There are pieces that are absolutely accurate, where Taffer will accurately diagnose a very real problem.
Right.
Lisa is not able to manage because she refuses to delegate because she does not trust her staff.
Yeah.
And that is something that clearly needs to change. There's also Paul. We get something where he gets hypnotized by titties, like that one guy from Nathan for You.
The guy has to talk to Trisha Paytas.
Yeah, they do this whole like suspense thing where it's like he's walking up to a woman. Is he gonna honk her on the boob? And instead he's just like, hey, you enjoying your meal? And it's like, they do the whole commercial break. So they replay the sequence.
They make the noise.
He's, I just saw titties.
Oh no.
And he walks up to her.
To be fair, that is the sound I hear when I see titties.
He's just perfectly cordial with her, and he's fine the rest of the night.
He's broken free from the chains.
Yeah, finally.
He's broken free from being a pervert.
He did it.
The chains of lust.
No more.
He read every young man's battle.
He's on NoFap. He's doing the work.
He used his accountability app, his porn accountability app, to yell at him whenever he opens up Pornhub.
Covenant eyes with his ex-girlfriend business partner. This relationship is also just kind of a weird thing. It's like, what?
So
there's more happening here.
Don't do this.
What does the name mean? I know that every year that passes in a brand's life, when it loses relevancy, it has less and less customers. If you try to rely on a blues history for a 25 to 39-year-old audience, you are taking your reach and you are narrowing it hugely. And this name contracted us.
So he decides it's the area code, right? The name that he
Bar
gives
702.
is Bar 702. And it also just, they've slapped up on all the windows and everything. It says a locals bar, which I mean,
a Vegas bar.
Yeah, this is a distinction, right? Because if you're a Vegas local, you're not going to the Strip. Right. In the same way that New Yorkers aren't going to Times Square.
I go to Margaritaville to drink all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. I like watching Lady Liberty with her giant margarita glass that sometimes breaks down. And by that, I mean,
what do you mean
most
breaks
of the time.
down? It's just a statue.
No, because there's a light show that happens on it, and it's all LED screens, and they break all the time.
The giant Lady Liberty holding a margarita is an LED show.
Yes.
Wow.
I only know of the big bottle because there's one in Niagara Falls that I've been to.
Okay.
It's abysmal. It's so bad.
Yeah, but it's also fucking Niagara Falls. That's the vibe there.
Yeah. So that's for tourists. But we just were like, we'd never been, and we were really curious to go. And I mean, they just had the big blender with the bottle that comes down every now and then, and then they play the music, and then and I remember, we got a quesadilla, and it was just awful.
The thing about this Bar 702 now, this redesign.
The locals bar.
Here's what I will say. This is one of the few times where I was like, oh, those cocktails look really good.
They did actually.
This is the fucking beer. Is this the beer bar?
They're serving them out of the beer glasses with the foam on top.
Awesome.
They look great.
These were clever. And like this place only had plastic glasses because they didn't have a kitchen. So he got them like the sort of high quality plastic glasses and like a cleaner, and then also cut a deal with the Vietnamese restaurant next door where they could order food through an app and then get it delivered through a pass-through
Which is so
window.
smart. There's just a window.
So
really
good.
clever. I mean, the biggest branding problem wasn't really the name so much, because people aren't going to be like, oh, I'd never go there. That name just reminds me of the blues. It was just that it didn't look like a bar on the outside. It was part of kind of the strip mall.
It looked like a tanning place.
It did.
Yeah.
So the other thing, can we just talk about the remodeling on this show?
Sure. You see them walking inside, and there's this wall that they've set up that has these kind of patterns on it. And it is so slapdash. Like you can see the seams in the wall that they put together.
I mean, they do these overnight. They do the renovations in literally 24 hours.
There's a hole where a light switch should be. There's just a hole in the wall. And everyone's like, wow, look at the stage. And of course you have to look at the stage, because if you look everywhere else, it's not done yet. It's not finished. And I don't know. I feel like he's made this very unique place into a very Applebee's aesthetic.
Yeah.
Right? It just feels so generic across the board.
Down to the music, right?
But I think the most insidious thing about this bar is the gambling aspect of it.
Oh.
They go into the bar science of gambling, and the more you learn about gambling, the more you're like, we shouldn't be doing this to other people.
And also the more you realize, like, oh, this is like the way they talk about how to get the gambling to work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The issue in this bar is that the payout isn't good enough.
It's too tight,
And the way they talk about it is like, it's like Jon Taffer's bar science. It's like it's a science that you figured out. And it all boils down to, so the payout needs to be better because when people win money, then they want to do it more.
Right.
And they're like, whoa. Like, anybody can figure that out. Just give them more money, they get more excited.
And they have this guy that came in during the stress test and walked out because the machines were too tight.
Right.
And then they call him back in at the end of the way. And this guy is the most like, you want to think about like a compulsive problem gambler, a guy who just sits at a screen tapping a button for 5 hours a day. This is the archetype of that.
But this is just such a fucking Vegas thing, you know?
Yeah.
And this is why I find the vibes in Las Vegas to be
repulsive.
Pretty bad.
Really bad. They coach Lisa on how to serve gambling customers.
Oh, yeah.
Because the video poker is all around the bar.
And like when to comp them.
Because gamblers figure out kind of how to scam bartenders, which that's at least, I can respect that. Where they'll like gamble twice, but make it look like they were doing it more so they get a free drink.
Yeah, because he's saying like when people are playing for longer and are winning, and then you give them a free drink. Yeah. But if they're a B player and they're not doing big bets, and they're just taking their time and they're looking around, then don't pay attention to them. Then ignore them and wait till they leave.
I would honestly love it if the show had spent more time with this piece. Like, this is where it actually sort of is a little bit documentary and very interesting and dialing into the actual science of running the bar. But because they really, really wanted their dirty doctor, we had to see the whole thing with Taffer's wife getting insulted. Then we didn't get to see the real fight.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, it makes for very fun television, obviously, but it's not good.
Yeah, no. And it's not even. And here's the thing. The slapdash nature of the production really needs to be like emphasized here, right? Because during the scene where he's introducing like the Vietnamese food coming through the thing, there's just this beeping noise in the background of the audio. I thought it was in my house, but no, it's just in the show. They didn't do a retake on it.
Yeah, and it's the difference between network and cable. Reality TV
Definitely.
is always going to be the low rent stuff, but on cable, we're talking about the same channel that does the repossession game show with 5 questions. You know,
Here's what I'll say. Right, we've been mentioning Nathan For You.
Yeah.
That's a show that really managed to do very well with the budget that it had, and the production on that is fucking seamless.
Yeah.
So you can't just blame the budget.
Well, yeah, because you had Nathan Fielder who actually gave a shit about the thing he was making. And actually, I mean, the whole point of Nathan For You is to make him look as terrible as possible, right? Whereas Taffer has the exact opposite.
Taffer is a college dropout, whereas Nathan Fielder graduated with
from
really
one of Canada's
good
top
grades.
business schools with really good grades. Anyway, Bar 702 is actually still around. They rebranded back to the Sand Dollar Lounge.
So they got rid of Taffer's idea.
The bar was sold to new management in 2014. So pretty promptly after the episode aired, actually. And it's expanded. They now have multiple locations.
I do think keeping the Sand Dollar thing, like, I really don't understand. That's such a weird angle for the show to take. And I thought it would have been a lot more compelling for them to say, like, okay, so the name Sand Dollar has such a legacy here because it's, you know, I mean, when they were describing who performed there, it was like crazy big names back in the day. Yeah. It would have been better if they were like, we need to bring the Sand Dollar back to its former glory.
Lean into the heritage of it.
Because this is the Sand Dollar.
But that's the
and
thing
then they start fucking crying and they're like, you know.
But you can't do that in 5 days.
Yeah, I do think there'd be something interesting just calling it like the world famous Sand Dollar. Like if you want to add that to the
Coca-Cola
sign or
Classic
something.
with it. Like there was another one I was watching today where he was at this bowling alley in Albuquerque called Lucky 66 because it's on Route 66. And he changes it to like Great 66 or Grand, and it's like Lucky 66 is just a better name. He comes up with the worst fucking names for anything ever. The corporate bar and grill.
Has no idea what the fuck he's doing. I just want to be very clear.
Speaking of things that have the worst name ever, we're moving on here to season 3, episode 33. Punch Drunk and Trailer Trashed.
Sweet Christ, what television.
Which covers the Oface Bar in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Which you'd think is maybe like a funny, you'd see Oface Bar, and with how it's typed out, I thought like, oh, it's a joke on like an Irish pub, and it's like supposed to be an Irish last name. But then it's also wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No, it's Oface, and the logo has kissing on it. It's literally the cum bar.
The couple that owns the place, they're the Obermeyers. But the Mr. Obermeyer apparently just goes by the name Mr. Oface, and that is what inspired the name Oface Bar. He's like, yeah, they call me Mr. Oface.
They have this fucking insane setup where Karen sits at the end of the bar with this bell that she rings, and whenever she rings it, the staff have to bring her drinks. Every night they're getting fully shithoused.
Council Bluffs is like a bedroom community off of like Omaha, Nebraska.
Right.
And people go here to have a bad time. They go here to get the fucking shit ripped out of their assholes. Like, this is a crazy, bizarre place that was started by a guy who's in the Air Force who wanted to just sort of have a college party every single night of his life. And run this not only with his wife, with Mrs. Oface, but with the daughter Oface as well. Their daughter works for them as the manager.
Oh, yeah, right. That was Amanda who was their daughter?
The manager, yes. The one who gets into the fucking fist fight in the parking lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Amanda.
That explains.
The devil.
Yeah.
This is the kind of bar that you do avoid, but it is a very real kind of bar.
Yeah. When you drive past it.
We've all driven past a bar like this where you drive past and you're like, I wonder what the fuck goes on in there, you know?
Yeah.
Because again, it doesn't look like a bar. This is set up literally in a double wide trailer. It looks like a place where you'd buy someone else's hair, like off the black market.
It is a place that you might enjoy your last night ever. And it wouldn't be your last night by your choice.
I don't think I would enjoy it at all.
No, it's so shitty. They serve this pizza.
Oh my God.
It's literally, it is genuinely a certain brand of microwave mini pizzas. I do think they're these Pillsbury mini pizzas that you can get.
The other insane shit about this bar, like Sarissa, who's sort of one of the bartenders. Well, she
explains it all.
She explains it all. And every shot that she sells, she takes one.
Yes.
So she's shit-housed like 2 hours into her shift. And they do flaming shots out of single-use disposable shot glasses
that are plastic,
thin plastic,
which they are also reusing.
And they like give it to a customer to do or something.
We also have to mention their security guard.
Oh, sick.
Brian.
Sick.
Brian with a Y, aka Sick, also with a Y.
Who is the normal guy.
Yeah,
he is the guy who has his brain on the right track.
Relative to the rest of these people, he is so fucking
Sick
normal.
needs to find a better crowd. If you're
well,
out
he got
there,
fired
Sick.
apparently at the end of this episode, so I hope that's what happened.
I feel like there's a real milkshake duck situation waiting for Sick. Never tell me.
Oh,
let him.
I am sure that this man has very strange opinions about ethnic minorities. That's
yes.
He's a security guard of the dive
I wrote in my notes, this is the median voter tavern.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Oface are just constantly fighting with each other in the bar all the time.
Yes.
Their kitchen, where they reheat the pizzas, is also just the back office where Mr. Oface seems to spend all of his time. These people are the strangest motherfuckers.
Hey, I do not go after the O-faces, okay? Before Chuck Schumer makes any decision, he thinks of what the O-faces will say.
That's true. So basically, on the first night of the shadowing of the bar, the stakeout, Amanda, the aforementioned bar manager, who is also the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Oface, she takes Sarissa, the bartender, outside and starts fucking wailing on her. She's beating the shit out of her.
Yeah, throwing her to the ground.
Taffer has to break it up.
Oh, we gotta fight. And they're really beating the hell out of each other. It's a full-blown cat fight. Russell, we gotta go. Stop this. She's hitting her. Stop, what are you doing? Hold on, this is your bar. Wait a second, you're the manager of this bar. How dare you disrespect that girl?
God, get out of my
Where's
face.
the owner of this bar? Get him out here now! Is this your manager? Do you allow her to beat up your employees?
No.
You have an employee beating her up. Her head hits that concrete. You're out of business. That's assault. If she got hurt, she could sue you. This is your representative. She's beating up an employee. Why aren't you upset? No, why am I screaming at you or not?
I wasn't out here.
I will scream at you all day long. I don't but I will listen to never
people
hit
yell
you.
at my wife.
I mean, they're all wasted.
Why? My wife.
They're so fucking wasted, and I really love how the first thing that comes out of Jon Taffer's mouth, instead of like, "Are you okay, young lady?" he goes, "You're her manager, and you're beating her up." Like, just
staring dead into the
turning
camera.
on the bar brain
So good.
immediately.
So good.
Yeah, that poor employee, she is so gone, and she's just getting the shit beaten out of her.
She's no
and
idea.
Here's Jon Taffer coming to her rescue, I guess. But like, not engaging with them on the level that you engage with drunk people at all.
No.
And then he tells the O-faces, you need to fire this manager right now. And then he storms out of there, and they're like, no, the manager stays. Bitch, you were asking for it. You
you're
get the
gone.
fuck out. And she staggers home in the middle of the night.
God.
Because they hate Sarissa, and they did the whole time.
Right.
I don't know if
this was just the excuse.
I think there was like probably, I don't know if they go into like the deeper reasons.
I'm
why
sure
they
there
don't
was
like
drama
her, but they just said that
because-
she's the cause of every problem. And Amanda's their daughter.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so they choose to keep Amanda and 86 Sarissa instead. And the next morning, Taffer gets in, sees Amanda at the bar, sitting there. Sarissa's gone. And of course, Taffer immediately goes off.
What I saw last night was a freak show. You beat the hell out of that girl on purpose. Which, apart from being inappropriate, could lead to a lawsuit. And I gave you a choice last night. Are you sober enough to remember?
Yep.
What was the choice?
that she couldn't be here.
And you have the audacity to bring her back here. You perpetuated it as owners.
And why was I on the ground? Teresa, you ask for it all the time.
And you expect me to help you guys after that's the choice you make? Would you have any part of this if you were me?
No.
You made your choice. See ya.
See ya.
He just leaves, walks out the door. Karen at this point is still like, no, we aren't firing Amanda. We're not doing it. But Matt, Mr. Oface, pressures her into doing it, at least for the sake of the show. It's like, she's got to get out of here if he's going to keep rescuing
It's funny that this is even a conversation, because obviously you could just hire her back next week.
These people are fucking insane.
No, this is the only episode where I really don't feel bad for literally anybody involved in the actual bar.
Yeah.
Except for Sarissa and like the employees.
Yeah.
But the
to
owners.
a lesser extent.
Oh yeah. The employees totally, but like the owners.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
Horrible
what is wrong
people.
with you?
Horrible.
What is wrong with you?
This feels like an episode of It's Always Sunny in
Yes, it
Philadelphia.
does.
Yes.
These are people who really don't know how to interact with the world. I fundamentally do not understand these people when I'm watching this show.
No.
Like, how do you
And
live like this?
It's the sort of thing, too, where like I have to imagine that even after that first night, they were like, should we just pack it in and call it? But the problem is this is just too good of television to not keep shooting.
And they know it's a liability.
Right.
Like Jon Taffer saying that there could be a lawsuit. Like that's him kind of letting the mask slip that he's like, okay, if they're literally like fighting each other, this is scary for us to like.
This is a liability
be here and be
for
involved
the
with.
show,
Right.
potentially.
It hurts my
right?
brand.
The only person who's gonna assault anyone on my set is me.
Exactly. Well, and actually that's, you know what? Thinking about it now, this would have been after the airing of Don't Mess with Taffer's Wife.
Yeah,
that episode aired on July 7, 2013. This episode aired on March 23 of 2014. So it's very possible that they were already in litigation. And when they were shooting this, that was at the top of Taffer's mind. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
There's a sign in the behind the bar in the Oface Bar that says, "I'll be Irish in a few beers." And it's rare to find that kind of anti-Irish bigotry.
Right? You'd expect to see that shit in England. What the fuck?
What the fuck is going on? Like, it's rare that I would walk into a bar and feel unsafe.
Yeah, you can't be talking like that, Mr. Obermeyer. Fucking Kraut.
But they do end up getting rid of Amanda, at least for the sake of the shoot.
Yeah.
Taffer re-enters alongside Russell Davis, who is, and I quote here, probably the best bartender in America, end quote.
First of all, he seems like the worst bartender in America, which we will get to in the next episode. And second of all, I got immediate horrible vibes from this guy.
Bad.
And I was proven right.
Uh-oh.
Because this man got arrested for assault in the Virgin Islands.
Oh, no.
Those charges were dropped, but still, I watched this episode and the way he's barking orders, I do not care for him. And it's also the shots that he's trying to teach them to make, which is basically trying to get them to do anything, which again, this feels like it's an Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode plot, that bar rescue comes to try and save Patty's pub.
God, that would be
and
good.
they just refuse to take part in it. But like all of his cocktails are terrible. They look awful, as opposed to, I think her name was Jay in the other episode, the Sand Dollar episode.
Yeah, those cocktails look good as fuck.
Those are crazy.
Those looked incredible and so inventive, and this guy's just like, what if a screwdriver was bad? Anyway, he goes in and he helps them and he tries to train them, but they just will not be
They just
trained,
keep fighting with each other. It's unbelievable.
Don't they keep just going into the back office and like talking about what is happening?
Yeah.
Like,
And why
which
they all hate
eventually
each
round in the
other.
room.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so fucking funny. There's a point where they're really mad about sick. And I wrote this quote down because I just think it's amazing, where someone just said, "What don't you like about sick?"
I mean,
this is the world we're occupying right now, where we need to find out what we don't like about sick with a Y.
Come on.
I mean, it's such unbelievably poor judgment and communication that it does make me wonder if there is something actually wrong with their brains.
And so Taffer says that he does this background check that's not done on any of the other venues. I don't know how true that is. Usually that takes a few days, so he probably does
also, this seems like something you'd want to do in pre-production.
Probably the production does do a degree of stuff, and then this might be one of the only times he actually accesses that file to see what's going on. And this leads to a really weird, again, nothing about this place makes sense. This is in a strange liminal space that is outside of the regular Earth that we all occupy. But he comes across criminal records and complaints against the bar and things like that. And then also a video?
I didn't clip this because it's mostly visual, so it doesn't really clip
well. The sound is like weirdly clear. Everything is framed up so perfectly. There's a point where this guy tells Mr. Oface to fuck himself and then throws a potted plant at him that just seems really staged.
Basically what happens is, this guy, he's one of the bartenders, the bald guy. I can't remember his name. He lips off at Mr. Oface. Mr. Oface smacks him in the face. And then he storms off.
Until this point, you haven't seen Mr. Oface go into rage mode, really, other than don't yell at my wife.
Don't yell at my wife.
That's a different kind of rage.
Yeah.
That when he's yelling at Taffer, it's more of this impotent rage.
Yeah.
Whereas here you're starting to see the real guy.
He's doing I'm in the Air Force, I'm military, and he slaps him across the face. I don't know if this is a real complaint that happened and then they reenacted it on an iPhone camera.
Multiple angles.
Well, it's one angle, but it's like everything gets captured. It's very smoothly shot and the blocking is perfect and hilarious and the sound is clear.
As if it's a Facebook video.
Yeah,
is the thing. They're trying to sell it as if it's a video someone took who was there and then posted it to Facebook in the community
and
group.
Whoever is taking the video is not talking. It's not shaky.
No one's no one's really yelling in the background. I don't think going hey, stop.
And that's exactly the thing too, is when you compare it with the video that they shot that night where Sarissa got the shit kicked out of her.
Way messier.
In that, it's very clearly a real fight that's happening.
Even the slap looks staged. It's not I'm doing this in anger. It's more stop it.
So Taffer says, in response to this, so not in response to a new thing that's happened, but in response to finding this old thing, which may have just been, I don't know, their audition video. I don't know.
I feel like it might have been an audition video.
He finds this and then walks out, which is a very weird, instead of them doing a new thing to him and then him responding to that, it's he just had to write out a certain amount of the week before they had a full episode. And he's like, okay, here's my excuse to leave.
Obviously, it was not going to happen. They were out of time. They had to move on to the next one and they needed to figure out a way to put a button on it. But the most interesting thing here, I think, is what happens after Taffer storms out.
Since I have been here, you guys have proven to me that you don't have the fundamentals to begin running this business and prove to me how irresponsible you are. So here's the deal. I'm leaving. I am not rescuing your bar.
He's not going to do it.
My advice to you is this. As another human being, you need some help. And you need to pull your lives together, and then maybe you can save your business. You need a counselor, not a bar professional. But I'm done. This is the first bar rescue I ever walked out of. You blew it. I'm gone. Good night.
Of course, production is still there.
In the ass. That's low, man.
I'm done. You guys get the out of my bar. Who wants a damn shot?
I don't know what to feel, what to think.
So this is sick.
What John's thinking, Russell's thinking. I don't know what's going on.
Get off that camera, dude. I'm serious.
See what I mean?
You got the nerve to talk on a camera?
And then we are informed that Sick was fired.
Here's where I wanted to follow up a little bit on Mr. Oface and what he got up to after the show aired. Council Bluffs declined to renew the bar's liquor license in May 2014. You can actually read the city council minutes. Apparently, Matthew Overmeyer did show up to petition in person and blame Jon Taffer for everything. And the state actually ended up reversing the decision in August 2014.
Whoa.
Giving them their liquor license back and allowing them to continue to operate. Huge fucking mistake.
Yeah.
Because,
it was such a load-bearing business, in Iowa.
Because in 2016, Matthew Overmeyer was arrested on charges of sexual abuse and assault in the bar.
That's not surprising.
Jesus Christ.
And he would later plead guilty and be sentenced to jail.
Oh.
He got his time suspended on a plea bargain, but then he went back to jail in 2017 because he failed to register as a sex offender.
Oh.
In February 2021, somebody got shot there.
Yes.
And then in March 2025, this year, there was another attempted drive-by.
So as of this year, it was still open. I don't know if it is currently open right now.
It is listed as open on Yelp, but, you know, who can say?
On Google, it had the closed temporarily thing, which usually pops up when something is not closed temporarily, but permanently. So
I guess my big takeaway from all this is like, they are so fucking lucky that they did not end up getting into some serious legal shit here.
Yeah.
Because this is a liability nightmare.
Because if there was the flip and then there was like these guys being so happy at their new sign and Jon Taffer's name was now a part of this kind of, that would have been bad.
I think about Jon Taffer saying, you got to get yourselves in order if you want your business to survive. And then the business survives for like a decade after he leaves. This man clearly has no idea what he's talking about. But in this one very particular case, I wish he had been right. I wish this place would have closed. Yeah. I mean, they do a back to the bar for this place. And within 5 minutes of the people sitting down there, a guy comes over to this woman and then says to the guy, I'm going to fuck your girlfriend.
What?
And then he is escorted out of there by the new security guards. And like, well, at least security got him out of there pretty fast. So I guess that's better. And they did do some stuff to improve it. But the girl was like, yeah, I would never go in there if I was by myself. Yeah. Under no circumstances. Because it's just a trailer. I don't know if we stress that. This is just like.
It's a trailer.
A trailer in the middle of just some broken up asphalt. Like it's just kind of off the road.
And I mean, that's what that's the vibe they cultivated too. I mean, they were just like, Matthew Overmeyer, he
Mr.
was
Oface,
just being Mr. Oface himself, just had this air of like violence to everything he said and did. And I mean, clearly because he would presumably hit his employees and as a sexual abuser.
Right.
You know, that's the crowd it drew for a reason. And there's that guy.
There's a question here about the ethics of even shooting something like this, right? Because I mean, obviously there's practical concerns about liability and like, what if somebody ended up like kicking the shit out of one of their camera ops or something like that, right? But also, what does it do as fun as it is to wallow in the mud? This is a very good episode of television.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
It's riveting.
I would argue that this episode of television should not have been made.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Amy's Baking Company of Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
So they had no choice but to do it. They had no choice but to release it because they knew that this is like what they had to do. So I'm sure Amy's Baking Company had come out by that.
Yeah.
This like it has to be done from their perspective. But even that episode of Amy's Baking Company, like they were terrible people. Like the stealing from the employees, the way that they talked to random people. And, you know, one of the things that resulted from Amy's Baking Company that I for sure know of is that people would go in just to experience Amy and her husband yelling at people. Like they would go in just to get that
just
reaction.
to see the show.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it would be the same here. You have people going in for a little fun and then they're met with Matthew Overmeyer, who's an abuser and like that who could hurt somebody seriously.
And that's when it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we talk about one where the people are stupid, but they don't seem like completely horrible people? This is episode 21 of season 4, Sticky Situation.
My favorite of the bunch.
Is that right? Okay.
This is a delight.
I love this episode.
It's such a great punchline at the end of this one, too.
So this was originally aired on June 21, 2015, and it's at Park 77 Bar in San Francisco. This is near San Francisco State University, but the, and I quote here, young and inexperienced Angelo doesn't know much about running a bar, and he's also drinking on the job, and also they shot a porno here.
There's the freaking couch. Think of the bacteria and filth that's on that couch.
Every time.
They cleaned the couch.
There's one time where a girl, like where someone sits on the couch and as their ass cheeks touch the leather, they play the sound effect. You hear
And here's the thing. It's like, whatever, shut a porno on a couch. they're kind of underplaying it here.
They're underplaying the porn.
And she was not making those sounds because this was a kink.com shoot.
You can find it online. It is titled Slut Gets Fucked in a Bar. Yeah. And it's not just on the couch. It's all over the bar. It's on the bar. It's in the bathroom. And it's like you said, it's kink.com. Like, if you know, you know. It's like a rough porno. Like, this girl gets tied up and fisted on the fucking couch.
Yeah, that's the thing. She's on the couch getting fisted. She's eating another woman's ass at one point. I like to think that's what Jon Taffer was showing these women, was like she is in the, like, right where they are sitting.
Just under the ass.
Doing analingus.
Oh, God. But clearly they had to have cleaned the couch, right?
One can assume.
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it.
They don't even point out the fact that the cum shots happen at the bar.
Oh, no!
That's where the drinks are.
Hi. Tell them what happened on this couch.
Oh my God.
Angelo,
Girls,
the manager, is completely wasted right now.
I want you to know I would normally not show this to you. But I want you to see this.
Oh my God.
There's the noise.
What is this? This jerk shot a porn movie on that couch.
That's absolutely disgusting.
So what? So what? Look at you. You want to sit there? And you wonder why you're such a loser.
Oh my God.
Can you?
Is this when he shoves his head to the couch?
No, you can't
Yeah, he
talk.
sniffs it.
Can you think?
Maybe.
What can you do other than make a porn movie?
I can help people have a good time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you guys have a good time there now?
That's disgusting.
This is the epitome of your failure. You drunken fool.
You.
So then he goes and he sniffs the couch.
He does it 3 times. I mean, this man is blackout drunk. He does not remember
And
this the next day.
On something else,
Yeah.
I bet.
I
Like,
think
I bet
so.
he's on coke.
And we remember how the producers goad people into their worst behavior. So we have producers probably in the shots that we're not seeing just handing him more alcohol or being like, why don't you do another one? Why don't you do another one?
My favorite bit about that whole scene, I mean, despite the fact that Jon Taffer does flip his phone around to 2 young 20-odd-year-old women and shows them like a woman getting fisted where they're sitting, is before he goes into the bar and he's doing the recon, he sits the women sit down on the couch and he's like, oh, I can't believe this. And he says, I gotta go in there and tell them what they're sitting on. And then he gets out and storms in.
And I will say, his intro line to Angelo is one of my favorite exchanges I've ever seen on television, because he just gets up in his face immediately. He's like, do you know who you are? Yeah. And he goes, I'm Angelo.
Angelo does also kind of have a role in the porno. At one point, he's like, he's serving drinks in the whole thing. But then when the girl is getting fucked on the couch, he's standing behind the couch and reaches over and pets her on the head like she's a fucking capybara at a petting zoo. Like so gently, like with his mouth agape, just like as if it's
his mouth
an
is
attraction.
always agape. That's just how his mouth is.
He's got the Asmongold face. Like, yeah. They look the same. They do.
So hold on. I'm so sorry to harp on the porno. I just have one last clarifying question for you all. Was the bar open? They're saying that there were customers in the background while this was happening.
Open in that like anyone was walking in and seeing the porno.
Right.
It's open in the same way that it is for a bar rescue event, right? Like there were extras.
But the bar was open in the sense that people were actively being served.
People who themselves were not porn models were there.
There's a Facebook event for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. titled Slap and Tight Makes a Porno with Kink.com
No
open bar.
way.
And 62 people responded, and it was a fucking, by the way, it was a 5-hour shoot.
Yeah,
that fucking woman in that video is a
Come
goddamn
on.
trooper.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you do that?
Oh, and also when Angelo shoves his face into the couch, they always play a little like piggy sound. There's like a little snorting. Yeah.
He's in the trough.
Well, joke's on you. There were truffles in there.
The producers must have just been so fucking over the moon about all of this, because this guy is made for reality television.
Mm-hmm.
He does not have 2 brain cells to rub together even when he's fully fucking sober.
He couldn't organize a 2-car parade.
That's right.
I mean,
the story of this bar is that this isn't a dive bar like we've been seeing with these other places. This is part of a larger extended family business.
Right.
And the bar is just one of the things that they've been branching out on. This family has a ton of money. So yeah, they're deep in debt on this bar, but it also kind of doesn't matter. And so Angelo, who is the fail son of the family, has been basically given this as a present.
Right.
So that he can run it however he wants. And he like forgets to cash people. Like he forgets to like charge people money. Like he gives away so many free drinks.
He's just hosting a party.
That's really what it is. It's not even that he's forgetting to charge. It's just that he's choosing not to.
Yeah. Well, later, when they do the stress test, he's so used to not charging people that then he forgets.
Right.
Yeah. Also, his dad has a mustache so large he needs subtitles.
It's a Friedrich Nietzsche mustache.
It's great.
Like he looks like he should have been like making pretzels in the 1930s.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he looks like to give you an idea of, what his dad looks like.
So the business has $188,000 of debt on it, in no small part because Angelo is, treating it as a party, right? He's giving away all the drinks. Jon Taffer uses an app called Bartender and pitches it very, very heavily to let you know that it can monitor the something in your bar.
Yeah.
And he calculates.
Apparently a pretty good app. I was looking it up to see if people like using it. He emphasizes how it uses like the camera to see the volumes of liquid in it. It's mostly a weighing thing. It does use the camera to like recognize labels, but there's another app that bartenders like better that can scan barcodes.
Sure. They all have kind of a come to Jesus moment with Angelo because he is just not meeting the moment. And he ends up getting just demoted. They're like, we're going to bring in a GM from outside. Sorry, Angelo, it's not your bar anymore.
But he's like, I'm Angelo. It's like, we know.
He's pretty okay with it because he's still hungover while this meeting is happening.
He's so
He slept
hungover.
in the bar.
Yes.
He's passed out in one of the booths.
Oh my God.
And he's just like, I'll never drink again. My sobriety is solved thanks to Jon Taffer.
That's right. Thank you, Jon Taffer.
And again, maybe he wasn't that much of a problem drinker until the producers came in. They're like, we really need to play this up so that you get on the show.
Hard to say. What I can say, though, is that once Jon Taffer takes over, he's got some great plans for this bar.
You want women under 27 years old, you gotta have a dance floor. I'm putting in 3 butt funnels. This dance floor is wrapped by drink rails. But there have to be openings to get in. Of course. 30 inches wide. Because? It's called a butt funnel. And the reason why is a girl and a guy go through here and they look in each other's eyes.
That's not why
Butt
it's called
funnel
that.
1. Butt funnel 2.
Okay.
Butt funnel 3. It causes people to connect. And human interaction is what a bar is all about. This is the first bar I've ever done with a triple butt funnel.
Wow. Huge history's being made.
Do we need to give like an added just like visual description of a butt funnel in case people really don't know what it is?
Please.
So what he's referring to, I mean, he said that like it wraps around the dance floor and those 30-inch openings are between the bars. And the idea is that people rub up against each other face to face, going like scooching in sideways to get to the dance floor.
Right.
And that friction makes people excited and maybe get horny on the floor.
Right.
Crazy fire hazard, more insane accessibility issue.
Well, you know what happens on dance floors. Shorty fires are always burning, and now there's no egress. Because of the butt funnels.
Did you know he's going to jail, Sean Kingston?
Yes.
Yes, he and his mother were running a financial scam.
Oh, I was thinking it was because he was doing shorty arson.
No,
he was burning the
arson. Yeah,
and
he listened to Taffer and put all those butt funnels
over because they were too beautiful.
Oh my God.
That's why it'll never work.
Yeah.
But we need the butt funnels because as Russell Davies says earlier in the episode, we're definitely going to focus on that female aspect.
That's right.
Oh.
A sentence that made me want to like peel every piece of my skin from my body. Just awful. And he also, like, the cocktail that he pitches for this, you see them drink it. It's called like a gator bite, I think.
Oh,
it contains a lot of melon liqueur. And you see them drink it, and they immediately cut from the reaction.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly the grossest drink you've ever had in your fucking life.
I'm always interested. Every single one of these bars, they have bartenders who just don't even know what cocktails are.
Yeah.
I doubt I bet it's because all these bars, it's just like guys who come in and get beer. Like I really don't think anybody ever orders cocktails at the places that they work at.
Again, even compared to Sand Dollar in season 3, it does feel like the quality of the overhaul, like the quality of the rescue itself has begun to deteriorate.
Yeah.
The physical bar itself, the decorations are the ugliest shit I've ever seen.
It's fucking terrible.
They've decided to Photoshop the face of the founder of San Francisco State University into a bunch of like propaganda posters.
Very poorly, too.
That's a thing that everyone going to San Francisco State University is a big fan of, is the founder of that school.
Yeah,
that's how you're going to get the college kids to come here.
This could work for maybe.
You'd get more college kids saying that you shot a porno there.
Yeah, and it's named after him too. They call it the Lister.
There's only a handful of colleges that this could work for. I mean, you could have a bar themed after Leland Stanford, for instance. That's something you could do.
I thought he was just the first president. I didn't even think he was the founder.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. So it was just like even more obscure. It is a genuinely horrible name for a bar, only matched by the before and after pictures, which made me scream laugh because folks, they're the same picture.
Yeah.
And they build a dance floor, but they don't put down a dance floor. So it's just concrete.
Right. It's worth noting too, you know, they had that leather couch that they did the fisting on.
Right.
Yes.
That was the only couch in the whole venue. Like it wasn't a cohesive part of their everything else was like high tops.
The couch was the identity of that bar, I guess.
Yeah. It should have been called the Fister.
That's right.
Yes. I'm almost wondering if like the couch wasn't a part of the bar beforehand and the kink.com production crew was like, okay, we need a couch for her to get fucked on. And they got like a really cheap couch. Yeah.
Oh my
and then
God.
they
And
just
they
left
kept
it there.
It's our memento.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want that back. No, we're done.
That's why Angela probably didn't want to get rid of it because he's like, oh no, it was from the porn. They gave it to us. It's a momentum of it happening.
I think you're onto something there.
Which in the back to the bar of this
There's
episode,
truffles in there, I swear to God.
She left some truffles behind. She left a few rosebuds.
Hey, that would make Angelo something, wouldn't it, Brian?
It's the pig.
Thank you. Yeah.
In the back to the bar, they get a camera and Jon Taffer is like, okay, I have something crazy to show you. Roll the footage. And they have this guy with a camera going into the basement of the bar and he's like looking around at everything and Jon Taffer's going, wait for it. It pans over and in the corner of the basement, they brought back the couch and it was there.
Fantastic.
But not in the bar.
Yeah.
But they brought it back and they kept it, which makes me think legit, I bet it was
It must
the
have
porn
been.
people gave it to them.
Well, what if they want to come back and do a Bound Gods shoot? Can we? Who are we to say no? I don't want to disappoint Van Darkholm.
Hey, Caitlyn, this last episode you said is your favorite of this set, and maybe one of your favorites, period?
I would say it's probably my favorite, period, because as I mentioned before, I mean, this might just be my preference with how these shows go. I do love the actual arc of the success story. Yeah. And in this episode, they fucking pull it together. Yeah. They actually pull it together at the end and they work together and Angelo kind of gets his shit back to, I mean, it's like his first week being sober, but like, you know, he kind of gets his shit back together and they're like all happy at the end.
Well, because all they needed to do was replace Angelo and then they had a functional bar.
The space had everything that it needed. It was in pretty good shape.
Excuse me, they added a mirror behind the bar, which is like the cosmetic section.
Ladies would insane. He's like, the ladies will know this is like the makeup section.
He is so happy introducing that to the women. He looks at all the ladies that work for the bar and he's like, ladies, does this remind you of something? Maybe the cosmetics section at, you know, the fucking Macy's or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah. And he's beaming.
Right.
He's like, I have connected with these women.
I figured it out.
I know what women want.
That's
He
right.
also does give them, other than the butt funnel and the bartender, he does give them also an Orange Door entertainment system, which is one of his go-tos. It's like a karaoke machine thing. And Revention POS systems, which I think in later seasons they switched to Harbor Touch POS.
Okay. They definitely needed it.
Yeah, I do. That's funny because some of these bars, of course, they don't have a POS system. They're just doing cash and whatever. But it is really funny to go into a bar like this one that probably does have its own system in place and being like, no, I'm changing it.
Yeah.
You have to learn a new one.
Well, the sponsors gave it to us. We have to use it. Yeah. So the Lister did survive. It was a pandemic casualty closing in 2021, but the rescue itself was reasonably successful.
Pretty good.
And I guess now that we've taken a look at these 4 fantastic episodes of Bar Rescue, just have to ask everybody, what does this show, what does Bar Rescue tell us about Jon Taffer as a guy, about the world of bars and bar management, about the distance between sort of what is portrayed for you on screen versus the reality of what is going on?
For me, the appeal of this show is that it styles itself like a Kitchen Nightmares, which is a show I've watched a lot of because there's something that's very satisfying about the formula. I think, Caitlyn, as you were saying, about the arc of the episode, about seeing a good success story. But to take that formula and then give it to who I imagine to be the dumbest man alive and have him.
It's a science. He's a scientist.
Yes, he's a bar scientist. I'm very familiar. He got his PhD in bar. But like to see him at the end be so proud of the changes he's made, and for all of those changes to be nominal at best and disastrous at worst is so funny to me. Of course, that ends with the episode. Yeah. Right? But then you go and you look at the actual failures of these bars afterward, and it leaves this really horrible taste in your mouth. But again, that's not something you're thinking about when you're watching because you're already on to the next one.
Well, and the worst taste isn't even from a failure. It's from that one bar that still could be open to this day. And you're like, I want everyone there to be in the ground right now.
Right.
Yeah. And this just like the absolute, like such a try hard display of machismo from Jon Taffer it's like absurd in some of these episodes. I mean, just the whole, it's just the Spike TV effect. And it's just such like, I don't know. I feel like in many years when this is eventually off the air, like it's just going to be such a time capsule of this sort of like, immediate post-recession, like male television, which is just like, I have money. I know how to use it. I'm the guy. I yell and I'm big. I'm right. Nobody else is. You're going to like what I have to say. It's Trumpian. It's it's Shark Tank. Like it's Kevin O'Leary. It's just this type of guy that Jon Taffer wants to be so badly. He went to school for political science. This is something he wants to do. Deep down, he wants to be a politician, and he knows he can't do it because he can barely keep fucking Taffer's Tavern open. So instead, he donates millions of dollars to the Republican Party.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
He spoke at the RNC.
And he can go on Fox News every week and talk about like how the Cracker Barrel rebrand was bad.
Right.
Which it was. Yeah. It was bad. But also, you guys got insane about it.
Yeah, it's minimalism. It's 21st century minimalism.
That's right.
That's all it is.
Well, Caitlyn, I wanted to thank you so much for coming on and spending over 3 hours with us talking about Bar Rescue.
Thank you. And I would gladly spend more than 3 hours talking about Bar Rescue any day
passion.
of the week. I would move mountains to talk about Bar Rescue.
Well, I mean, you say that. There is a Twitch channel where people can go and sometimes watch you talking about Bar Rescue.
Yes, there is. It's twitch.tv/SlowpukeLIVE. I forgot about that earlier. It's SlowpukeLIVE. And I talk about Bar Rescue, TLC Trash TV. I've been going over some HTTV, real garbage.
Hell yeah.
I love this type of stuff. It's the funniest thing in the world to me to just see products that are so vain and so bad.
And actually, if you are listening to this episode the day that it comes out, I am going to be on that stream today. Yeah. Wow.
If it took you a day or so to get to the end of this episode, you can catch it on the VOD.
Yeah, go back, watch the VOD on Slowpuke Live. Yeah.
Twitch.tv/SlowpukeLIve. Trading places if you've never seen it before.
It's a trip.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It is hell. It's like being in hell.
Hell yeah.
And the success of it then led to the wife swapping shows.
Of course.
Which led to the God Warrior, which is the most important moment in the history of television ever.
It's dark-sided. It's dark-sided.
Well, please go check out Slowpuke Live on Twitch. And Also, if you are listening to our show for the first time, welcome and thank you for listening. We've got a lot of really cool stuff, more stuff just like this in our back catalog, including Patreon-only premium episodes, which we put out every other week. I'm trying to think if there's anything that we've talked about that's like relevant that was a premium episode.
We've talked about game shows, reality TV,
yeah. Oh, our
a little
episode
bit.
about the supermarket sweep might be of interest. Anyway, go back, take a look in our back catalog, and thank you so much for listening to our show.
So the thing I think about a lot while watching Bar Rescue is how fun it is to watch somebody like Trump parade about and do his shtick and not have any real power.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about Trump himself, though, is like, imagine what could have been.
Yeah.
If he never wanted to get into politics and he just wanted to have a celebrity gossip show. If he just wanted to take over the Wendy Williams show and do guest spots on her show.
Yes.
Imagine what could have been.
Yeah,
or
if
that
his
Broadway play he
plays had been
produced
successful,
had taken off. The career he would have had as a bitchy New York queen, right? And you can live that dream by watching Bar Rescue, right? You can see that same sort of personality bumble his way through a renovation show that he is in no way qualified to run. And in the grand tradition of Bar Rescue, listen, John, I know you're listening. Taffer's Taverns are on some hard times. So I would like to, if I could, suggest a rebrand in the only language you can understand. So, John, you have to make Pulsar your mascot. Put him front and center. Every Taffer's Tavern has a UFO, and out of that UFO comes Pulsar, and he looks dead into the camera and says, I just want my father to love me. I'm the worst of all possible AJs.
I'm the worst of all possible Brians.
And I'm the worst of all possible Joshes. See you next week.